All right, what's up? Happy Monday, Los Angeles. He is Doug McCain. I am Bill Reiter. This is D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. You know how you know when you've made it? When you're a superstar? When you, well, not a superstar. When things are going well, maybe better. When you set the agenda, when you set the conversation. And the guy to my right, Doug McCain, D-Mac, did that with Tarik Skubal. You speak, the California Post follows. We'll get into the latest from Skubal, his response to our segment on Friday.
I learned from you, Mr. Bill Reiter.
You're my dude. What is a hero, Mr. Lebowski? It's Doug McCain. Speaking of heroes, we'll do Hero of the Day at the end of this hour nominees. We'll do the winner. You'll vote for that at the end of the show. We've got Kirk Cousins not remembering his size relative to Max Crosby. We've got some doomsdayers, some the sky is falling prognosticators about the Lakers. We might push back on that a little bit. The latest on Kawhi Leonard, NFL report, hardwood headlines, LA Stock Exchange. Aaron Donald was the story of Rams training camp, even if he wasn't there other than one sort of maybe technical time, kind of. We'll preview tonight's Skubal game. Lots of things going on. Call us, 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-975-2326. Preset us in the car on the old FM at 97.1, 97.1, and you can also watch us and get in the comment section on YouTube at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. I had two dudes this weekend, Keith and Tommy, say to me how much they like the show. One of them watches on YouTube. One of them listens on the radio. It's a cool reminder that people can find us either way. And then I had someone else write me and say, love the show. I can't tell if you and Doug are best friends or secretly hate each other. And I said, he's my best friend and he secretly hates me.
Sounds about accurate.
That's about right.
Yeah.
How was your weekend, dude?
It's great, man. Fired up. Just I wish the Dodgers played better. Wish we had we did a
drive.
I wish that it was a little better of a weekend. But look, it was cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to Spain next week, so I kind of chilled.
Dude, I'm so excited.
Didn't go too crazy. Didn't see Spider-Man yet, so I feel like a failure on that standpoint.
Burr saw Spider-Man.
Did he?
Brock saw Spider-Man.
Wow.
Batman even went to Spider-Man. Like everybody but you is
I
seen
gotta
Spidey.
hit it, baby.
You only got a few days, then you're not going to go in Europe.
You never know.
I have a good theater for that, actually.
You do?
I do have a spot.
You are like the mayor
Gracias.
of Barcelona, dude.
That's the spot.
Yeah.
You're going to love it.
You talk about people coming up to you talking about the show here. I can't wait to get to Barcelona, and I'm going to be a celebrity just because I know Bill Reiter. That's
You're
your
already
city,
a celebrity.
Man.
You're already a celebrity. Some
Feeling
other guy
it.
was walking by, goes, you have a show? I go, yeah. He looked disinterested. He goes, who with? I go, Doug McCain. Kid you not, he got excited. I know him.
Love it, baby. Changing the game.
Problem was it was Tarik Skubal and he threw something at me.
Was
no,
it?
he did. It wasn't. He did. It was somebody else. All right, so you mentioned this. The Dodgers lost 2 out of 3 over the weekend. They did snap their losing streak on Saturday, but that was despite the fact that Edwin Diaz forgot how to be a closer, had blown 2 straight games. One of them leads to a Dodgers loss, just a walk-off on Friday. Saturday's game, he does the same sort of I'm not a closer bit, but the Dodgers bail him out later in the game. Roki had a nice outing. Doesn't matter. I guess it matters. I mean, he's looked really good, but Edwin Diaz doesn't look great. The offense is anemic, and we've got a guy in Justin Robleski who has forgotten how to pitch. Can I throw some offensive stats at you, and you tell me why it's all going to be okay or the sky is actually kind of falling? You want to play this game?
Let's do it.
All right. So we know that the Dodgers have lost 8 out of 9. They've lost 15 of their last 24. They are also 1-6 since the Tarik Skubal trade, the worst in Major League Baseball. The Tigers happen to be 5-2, tied for the 3rd best record over that very small sample size. That's the old damn lie statistics. But it just highlights even his arrival hasn't stopped the skid. Over the last 30 games, the Dodgers' last 30 games, their offense, just in terms of runs scored, is 23rd in baseball and 14th in the National League. Second only in terms of the worst column to the Marlins. Since early July, their weighted runs created plus is 93. That's 23rd. Even worse in August, that same stat, 88 weighted runs created plus. Since July 1st, the Dodgers have seen the highest percentage of fastballs, almost 59% of the pitches thrown their way, going back to July 1, have been fastballs. They only have a 693 OPS over that stretch, a 310 on base percentage, a 383 slug when they're facing fastballs. So it feels like The offense isn't working. Some of the guys we've talked about haven't stepped up. Kyle Tucker's been a little bit better the last few days. And maybe, just maybe, opposing pitchers have found a weakness in a team that you called this months ago. You said, put an eye on this. Maybe an older Dodgers team, not with the bat speed that they used to have.
Yeah, all those stats really just paint the picture of how anemic and bad this offense really has been. I'll add a couple to that, too. You mentioned the ineffectiveness against fastballs. And anytime a team is tired, a team that looks like maybe they lost a step or they're looking old, it's the fastball. And they've struggled. They've missed a lot of fastballs. I mean, you saw yesterday, Teoscar Hernandez, those 3 strikeouts, a lot of those came with fastballs at the heart of the plate when he had a chance to do damage. And then also just a lack of success against lefties. They have been dominated by lefties since July 1st. They have the 20th worst offense against southpaws, hitting .246. Also just 33 home runs since July 1st. That's 24 out of 30 teams. This is a team that relies on slug a lot. They 45-12 when they hit at least 1 home run, 7-16 when they hit 0 home runs. So you're hitting on all the points that I think are a problem with this offense. And I think, too, you just look at just the overall production from that side of the plate. They have a lot of lefties. They've got Shohei. They've got Tucker. They've got Freddie. Righties, though, you don't have Teoscar Hernandez having the season that he should. He's been below average as a right-handed bat.
717, by the way.
717 OPS. That's not what you want, especially for a guy that's a negative defensive player. We've talked about Mookie's struggles. He's not the right-handed bat that he used to be. This team looks like they're searching for something. They look like they're a team that looks like the oldest position player group in Major League Baseball, and I think the missing piece in all of this doesn't solve all their problems, but you're seeing the absence of Will Smith, one of their best, most impactful right-handed bats, not in the lineup, really, really hurting him in this stretch.
D-Mac and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, and the phone number if you want to call us, 855-975-2326, 855-97-LA-FAN, as in you're listening to The Fan on 97.1. And we're going to get to the Skubal conversations, and we're going to get to Doug's viral, accurate comments about Skubal and his lack of love, loyalty, whatever else for the Dodgers. Skubal has responded through the California Post and our good friend Dylan Hernandez. You are the tail that wags the dog, and I love that. So if those of you looking for that, it's coming up here in just a few moments. We're talking Dodgers woes and struggles. I'm not a golfer, and are you a golf guy?
Not hardcore.
Me either, but I've covered it. My brother golfs, and I've done it socially. And the thing about golf, if you're really good or you're really bad, is people will tell you something always goes wrong, right? Your short game is locked in, but you can't hit off the tee. You start to be able to hit a little bit longer, hit your irons, you can't putt. Something always comes sort of off the tracks for you. That feels like this Dodgers team. Because for a stretch, it's the bullpen. The bullpen figures it out. But then it's the offense that can't produce. Then it's the starting pitching. The starting pitching kind of locks in. Rocky's a perfect example. And then something else goes wrong. It is a cascading series of issues and problems for the Dodgers, and I don't want to oversimplify this because largely the starting pitching has been really good, and the bullpen has been better. And even Kyle Tucker, who I don't think we've maligned. I think soft, sycophantic people who disguise themselves as radio hosts and sports writers around L.A. maybe have called it maligning Kyle Tucker. He's just been poor. Credit where it's due. We're not forgetting. We will sort of not own our mistakes. We'll call things as they are. Tucker's been better, but as he's been better, other bats have absolutely cooled off. And entering this mix of frustration and complication, while Rocky's been almost unhittable since the break. I mean, the guy's 1.88 earned run average. I have a million stats here. I'll read them to you guys later if you want, but suffice it to say, he's been amazing. Justin Robleski's been absolutely awful. Only got 10 outs in his start over the weekend. He left that start yesterday with a 4-0 deficit. He only went 3 1/3 innings. He has given up 17 runs in 20 innings pitched since the All-Star game. And I know that he's not the guy that you're going to turn to when you get to the postseason, but it just feels like for a Dodgers team that has been imperfect in varying ways over the course of the year, you've got big names that you rely on, like a Kyle Tucker until lately, like a Mookie Betts, like a Teo, and names that aren't as big entering the season but that were reliable who have just let this team down. It's hard, D-Mac, to find real consistency for a team that's going to need it if they're going to win enough games to be World Series champions again.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the offensive woes, and they've really, really continued to struggle in that department. And it's really getting dominated by starting pitchers, too. I mean, as you point out, since the All-Star break, the offense has been bad. They've scored just 85 runs. That's 23rd in Major League Baseball. But it's also their inability to get early leads, their inability to get to the opposing team's starter. In this series against the Diamondbacks, the Diamondback starters, Merrill Kelly, Brandon Pfaadt, and Rodriguez, they held the Dodgers to 3 runs on 9 hits in over 19 2/3 innings of work. The Dodgers, they have not scored more than 1 run in an inning since they scored 7 in a long time. In the entire series, they scored 7 runs in 28 innings. So they didn't score more than 1 run in any inning for this 3-game series. Yeah, exactly. Right, they came at the right time.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think you look at a guy like Eduardo Rodriguez, right, who is a really good starter, not elite, but he's a lefty. And he had his very best start of the season against this Dodgers team. He struck out a season-high 9. That was 2 more than he had in any of his first 23 starts. So really the Dodgers, they're making good starters look elite. They're making average starters look good. In their last 5 games, they've scored a total of 5 runs in 30 1/3 innings against the opposing team's starting pitcher. That's no way to live. Really, this is a Dodgers team, Bill, that their strategy is you want to get that starter out of the game as soon as you possibly can. How do you do that? You take really good team at-bats. You see pitches in the zone. You don't swing at pitches out of the zone. Not only have they been dominated by fastballs, but you're seeing some uncharacteristic, I would say selfish at-bats from some of these hitters where you're swing at pitches off the plate when you just got to put the ball in play. You got to pass the baton, and right now they look so disjointed, and this is just an offense that really is hitting their lowest point of the season.
D-Mac and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. One of the magical things about sports is that we love them, we're obsessed over them, and we pay enough attention. That's why you're listening to a sports talk radio station, the only on the FM dial, by the way, because you care. And we're trying to take this information and extrapolate kind of what it means. Maybe it means nothing, maybe it means everything. I don't want to mischaracterize people's views. Ken Rosenthal, who's a friend of mine and an acquaintance of DMAC, that was because you made fun of him once. I love you, Kenny. His sort of take on this is there are weaknesses. The Dodgers are not going to rampage through the playoffs. Didn't say they wouldn't win the World Series, but certainly said it wasn't going to be easy. Other ball knowers have had different views that range from this is a problem, thank God, because some people hate the Dodgers too. This is much ado about nothing. People struggle. The Dodgers lost 7 in a row last year, and they were World Series champions. Freddie Freeman's weighed in and sort of what to make of this losing streak, as you put it, this anemic offense, these series of certainly bat signals that are out there that maybe the Dodgers need some help. And after the series, during the series, as the Dodgers continued to struggle, Freddie Freeman talked about his and the team's level of concern.
It's baseball, ups and downs. We're going to go through it. No one's worried in here. Just happens to be, during a time where our pitching has been pitching good the last couple of games, and as an offense, we got to do better. So hopefully it starts tomorrow.
Can I give you my, not catastrophizing view, but my slightly negative, maybe the journalist in me view of this, DMAC here on DMAC and Reiter?
Hit me.
The Dodgers earned and won their World Series last year. I'm not saying they didn't. And it was one of the more riveting World Series in sort of the history of the sport. It was an incredible, the World Series in particular, the whole postseason run was really, really fun to watch. But the Dodgers barely won that thing. I mean, they had to come back against Toronto, all the sort of histrionics, some big-time hitting, and maybe those things can click into place. But my read of this is the Dodgers, as dominant as they were on paper last year, as much as people take for granted in retrospect the inevitability, the Thanos-like nature of this team, as much as, the payroll's real and Andrew Friedman being great is real, it was a really close call. And this year's team is not vastly improved as it relates to some of these weaknesses than last year's team. The bullpen looks good now, although Edwin Diaz plays in the bullpen, so maybe I should sort of adjust that a little bit. The bullpen looks good other than the guy they paid to be their closer. The offense, for all the reasons you talked about, has been struggling. You brought up the selfishness of the at-bats, which is really interesting. You heard Freddie Freeman say the starting pitching's been great, but Justin Robleski's been awful. Snell is back tomorrow. Hopefully that works. Skubal has his home debut tonight. Hopefully that works. We'll see when Glasnow comes back. My point is, a team that barely won last year, that has weaknesses now, to me, is another team, based on what we're seeing, that's going to have to win in really thin margins. And in baseball, that's really hard. Relying on walk-off home runs and last-minute heroics and those sorts of things, it's not a recipe for consistent greatness, which is what the expectation is for the Dodgers.
You're absolutely right. And I love that you point that out. The fact that, yes, it took miraculous home runs for the Dodgers late in Game 7 to even win back-to-back World Series titles. And that's a lot of games. That's a lot of attrition. Those postseason games, one may as well count for 20 or 30. And this is a Dodgers team that has played in 16 grueling postseason games in 2024. You had 17 in 2025. But you mentioned the Avengers, right? You mentioned just comic book characters, right? And you look at the way this team looks, and everyone's down on the Dodgers, saying the season's over and all this stuff, and the doomers are out, right?
I'm not saying the season's
I'm
over.
not saying you are, but there's doomers that
But
are
I'm
out
not
there.
as sure as I was when Iron Man was like, whatever it takes.
Well, the reason I bring it up, though, is
Did Iron Man have said that? I don't know.
that works.
Okay.
The reason I bring it up, though, is how do you judge? Would you judge the Avengers the same if they rolled up and they were missing Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor, right? You probably wouldn't look at them the same. And right now, the Dodgers are without Will Smith, who I think is the glue to the offense. And I think, too, you factor in Blake Snell coming back this week. Tyler Glasnow is coming back soon. And then Edwin Diaz just returned, and it's going to take some time for him to get back to the closer that they hope that he's going to be. But to your point, Bill, that's why the Dodgers did what they did. That's why they signed Kyle Tucker to a record-breaking contract in the offseason. That's why they traded for Tarik Skubal. That's why they signed Edwin Diaz, because they had the foresight to know that you're not just going to continue to run it back with all these players that are aging, that have played a lot of high-intense baseball, and expect to win. And you mentioned the golf thing, and I think that's super apt when it comes to this team. But I look at this Dodgers team right now as, Bill, have you ever ran a marathon?
I have tried to run a marathon. I've run half marathons under 2 hours.
Okay.
I didn't make the full one. I got hurt.
Okay, awesome. So I've never run a marathon.
Did you really want the answer?
I did, yeah. Half marathon's impressive. That's more than I have.
It was
right?
something.
To me, so a marathon's 26.2 miles. I don't even like driving 26 miles. Okay, so I have not ran a marathon. I've watched marathon on Netflix, and I've done shows like marathons, right? The Simpsons Marathon, Entourage Marathon.
You watched a marathon on Netflix?
I've watched shows on Netflix, and it felt like a marathon. Point
sorry.
is,
I totally misheard
I'm
you.
not the one to talk about running marathons. My mom has ran a marathon. My sister has. And
This
toughest
point is a marathon.
part, yeah. Okay, listen, let me get to my point. What's the toughest part of a marathon, right? It's when you get to the wall. And they say the wall is the 20th mile. That's when
Yes.
your body, it stores all that glycogen, and you've lost all that glycogen, so your legs are heavy. It feels like the finish line is far away. And the 20th mile is around the 72nd percent of the race. That is where the Dodgers are right now. They're the 118 games
glycogen?
into the season. They need to get through this wall part. And once they get through this and they see the end of the season in sight, they see the postseason, that is where they need to be. So this 20-mile part of the 26-mile marathon where the Dodgers are at right now, it's the low part. It's the worst part of the season, but they're going to get healthy. They're going to have meaningful baseball. And I think that's another thing to look forward to is you got the Royals in town, but then you also have the Brewers at the end of the week. So hopefully that can spark something in them.
The cure for baseball struggles is often known as the Kansas City Royals. It is not terrible timing that the Royals are in town. And look, you make a great point, and the marathon app is really, or the marathon comp is really apt. I like it. I like it a lot. I will say this, and this is so funny. I'm not arguing with you, but a lot of my thoughts on the Dodgers, the seeds of them are things that you say. Like, I do think you are the number one Dodgers person that's out there in terms of commentary, journalism, opinion, and I think this was even before we went live on the air here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. We're approaching 3 months on the air, and thank you to all of you who are supporting us. If you're in the chat, we see a bunch of new folks. Please slam that like button. Please hit that little bell so that you know when we're doing our thing. Something you said, I think, D-Mac, before we started doing shows. We came up with lists, and we talked a lot about what we wanted this program to be, and we want it to be for you, what you want to hear. I had people this weekend say, thank you for talking Dodgers and Rams and Lakers. It's so refreshing not to hear, insert national story. You pointed out, just as not a problem now, but at some point in our time working together, to keep an eye on the Dodgers' age and the age of that roster and the position players in particular. And at whatever point they're going to get to a stage where it's a problem. I hear you on the marathon thing, and having run a half marathon, I do know what it's like to hit that wall half and then push through, right, the adrenaline. But I hear your voice from a few months ago going, this team is older than people know. If the age kicks in as a problem, they may not be able to get the, what is it,
Yeah, so
glycosine?
the glycogen.
Glycogen.
So when you hit the wall, the glycogen storage is completely depleted. But once you get past mile 23, and as you point out,
Not
you
those 80-year-olds.
What?
Not the 80-year-olds.
Not the 80-year-olds, yeah.
Sorry, old man.
The hope is that you do see that World Series light at the end of the tunnel and the possibility of three-peating, and you use that adrenaline and you can get through the finish line. But I do like that you bring it up because I will touch on what you say.
Yeah, and the fastball thing is what triggered it.
And I agree. Here's the thing. My point isn't that this is just a nothing losing streak. My point is that if you are nervous or you've seen some sirens going off because of this stretch, then you have been looking at the right things this entire season. Like, in the back of our minds, even when there were stretches where they were playing well, you could have still pointed out to the fact that Freddie's having a down year, Mookie's having a down year, Shohei's having a down year, Teoscar's having a down year, Will Smith's having a down year. Muncy has had a really good year, but last couple weeks, he started to look more like the Max Muncy that we saw at the start of last season where he struggled. So point is, even though my hope is in an ideal scenario that they break through and get to the finish line, but the age is a factor. There's a reason why there's only been 4 teams that have won 3 straight World Series titles. There's a reason why no National League team has three-peated. That's because it's very hard to do, and that attrition kicks in, and we're going to see, can this Dodgers team hold on, dig deep, and find a way to get the most of the guys they have now, knowing that they're not going to go back to prime Mookie and Freddie and Teo, but hopefully it's enough with this talented starting rotation, and hopefully Kyle Tucker stepping up the way he is, and Shohei Ohtani can still be Shohei Ohtani, that they can get over the hump and win another World Series.
D-Mac and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. My partner said something accurate on Friday. It went viral, and the California Post went and found Tarik Skubal, and in effect said, this is the word on the those D-Mac and Reiter streets. What do you think? So we're going to get into that. I'm going to close with a little positivity, though. Okay, I'm just going to close before we get into the Skubal thing with a little positivity. Since the Skubal trade, the Dodgers are 1-6, so that's not great. And maybe on the other side of this, we can talk about whether you think there's a correlation between all the focus going to Skubal versus this guy. Over these 7 games, Kyle Tucker has a slug of .708. He's batting .375. He has a couple home runs. It's 9 hits. His OPS is 1.153 or something astronomical. He has played extraordinarily well. And so maybe just as a little, now am I putting my hope in the Dodgers and Kyle Tucker? I am not there yet, but it's a kernel of hope and some positivity. Just a reminder that something Doug and I will always do. When Dodgers or any other team, athlete, GM, person, sports figure in this city needs to be criticized, we are going to criticize that person. And when they do a good job and it's against the narrative that we've had, it's not narratives, we're just giving you facts, folks, we're going to bring that up too. So it's a 7-game sample size, but Kyle Tucker, it's been under the radar because the Dodgers have only won 1 of these games, has played really, really well. So maybe we'll dive into that a little bit. And Tarik Skubal responds, I think, to Doug McCain. That's next. D-Mac and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That is injury help to 40222. Your guy Fabian has reported the Dodgers are calling up reliever Seth Halverson. Sources tell him, The Athletic, the hard thrower was acquired, he writes, in a trade with the Colorado Rockies last month. All right, little bullpen help, little help.
I like it. He's got crazy stuff. I mean, he pumps 102, 102 mile per hour fastball. We saw the success the Dodgers had with Will Klein last season. I had a scout tell me, hey, Seth Halverson is going to be this year's version of Will Klein. So I'm excited to see what they can do, because you know that some scouts somewhere within the organization presented Halverson to Friedman and Gomes and company, and they feel like this guy could almost be a secret weapon type player for the Dodgers in the postseason. So I love it. Anytime it's like a new player, I'm just here for it, right?
So I'm going to play relationship mediator here, okay?
Ooh.
I had a buddy who was a marriage counselor, and he once told me that if anyone came to marriage counseling, the marriage was over. And I told him, you're in the wrong business. So I'm going to approach this between you and Tarik Skubal with a lot more optimism, okay? I'm gonna try to just what? I'm gonna try to fix things here,
okay,
okay?
mend the fences.
By the
here.
way,
Okay.
As the marriage counselor here on D-Mac and Reiter, I'm not supposed to take sides, but he's wrong. And you're right, but we're gonna try to make it work, okay? By the way, this baseball coverage and this marriage counseling, but mostly the baseball coverage on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. Nobody was more vocal, not even vocal. No one infused their passion to get Skubal with a love for Skubal like you. You have been on the Skubal train since May, dude. I mean, you have been, I thought you were Tarik Skubal's cousin at first. Like, that's how much you were pushing the Skubal thing. And the moment he gets here, he goes on a podcast, and we hit this last Friday, and he says, I cannot wait to go back to Detroit. I really hope I can do this. And you did a impassioned, emotional, authentic, basically, how dare you go and talk about your ex? We're together right now. And he's responded. This is from the California Post, our guy Dylan Hernandez, and I know that it's you because Dylan writes, the great column, this covers the Dodgers. Quote, the remarks were not, this is him talking about the podcast. The remarks were not well received in Los Angeles. No, they weren't. But the only place that you would have found actual media people talking about what many of you were feeling, and which some of you were pushing back on, Ryan and I can't remember where you called from, but I think Inland Empire, we appreciate you too, was here on 97.1 The Fan. Wasn't on the other spots where you might go and get Dodgers content or whatever it is. And so this is, literally, Hernandez went and interviewed Skubal about your comments, Doug, about you saying, hey, you're with me now. We're together now. That's your past, and that's fine, but you pawning for and wanting to go back to your ex is not acceptable. Here are Skubal's comments, and I just want to see if you feel better. If this is, some roses, or the fight continues. Quote, this is Skubal, quote, I'm excited to get in front of our own fans and get to know them and build relationships with them, Skubal told the California Post. Hopefully, they come to enjoy who I am and what I bring to the table, end quote. Editorial aside by me. They might if you stop talking about how much you love the Tigers. Okay, he went on. It's all pretty fresh. At the end of the day, I got to do my job here. Go play baseball and go out there and compete. Shift the mentality to give everything that I got to this team in the city of Los Angeles. That's kind of where I have to shift to, end quote. Maybe I'm a bad marriage counselor, relationship counselor. What do you mean shift to? You're not there yet? You're not committed yet? You're still having to transition to... he's telling you that at the end of the day, which is another way of saying it, like if you told me I had to do your laundry or something, I'd be like, at the end of the day, I got to do the laundry. At the end of the day is not a positive thing. If I had to hang out with Bursch tonight for dinner, and I go, at the end of the day, I got to hang out with Bursch, that would not be something I'm looking forward to. This dude doesn't sound like he's really interested in sounds like he's going to go be a professional, but the love you showed to Skubal, I don't think is being reciprocated, which is fine. I don't think it's being reciprocated.
And we'll see tonight, right? I mean, how he pitches in front of the Dodger Stadium crowd, the reaction that he will get. I will say
Could they boo him? They're not gonna boo him.
They weren't going to boo him. But I just think that the reaction that they could get could make him kind of forget about Detroit and embrace and just be a Los Angeles Dodger, be here. And I will say I did reach out to Dylan, and he did say the reason why he asked Skubal that question was because of me on this show and the things I was saying, and that Skubal is aware of it and that kind of stuff. But here's the thing. Respectfully, I just think Tarik Skubal needs to focus on just being a Dodger. You're a Dodger now. Nobody cares about your old team. Nobody cares about your old teammates. Nobody cares about how badly you want to go back. I mean, to me, Tarik Skubal is in a spot now where he's put himself in a position where if he pitches great, that's awesome. If he helps the Dodgers win another World Series, that's the goal. But if for whatever reason, maybe he pitches one less inning here, maybe for whatever reason you don't see him going on shorter rest, maybe for whatever reason he doesn't have the type of success that they expect him to have, everyone's going to trace this all the way back to that first interview that he did with Part of My Take, where he's waxing poetic about the Detroit Tigers. I will say this, marriage counselor, I don't think you're cheating on me necessarily, but I do think you are, and I don't know if you know this phrase, Bill, emotionally cheating. It's emotionally cheating. That's what it is. You are giving the Tigers some emotion. You are kind of living that up. To me, it feels like he needs to focus on the task at hand, the job that's at hand. One of my favorite movies, Beverly Hills Cop, Eddie Murphy. Tarik Skubal is basically Axel Foley in reverse, right? In Beverly Hills Cop, he leaves Detroit, comes to Los Angeles. It's like, I've got a job to do. I'm going to focus on that. But Tarik Skubal comes to Los Angeles, and he's like, let me talk about how great Detroit is instead of experience the magic of Los Angeles and going out there and helping them win another World Series title. So I think performance-wise, he had a really great first start. Hopefully has a really great second start. But let's put these Detroit Tiger comments to bed. I think this is beneath him, too. And one more thing I'll say about this, Bill, is if there's any truth, and I agree with what you said. What you said right when it happened was he was speaking from the heart, and that he was talking about Detroit the way that he felt and how his teammates made him feel, where he's out there saying, oh, I didn't even cry when my wife walked down the aisle, but I cried in the clubhouse with my old Tigers teammates after I learned of the trade. If that's true, fine. You're loyal, you love your teammates, but what people are saying to justify this is that he's just angling to get leverage to get a bigger contract. If that's the case, to me, that's scumbag material and disloyal to your Tigers teammates. Wouldn't you see it that way? That to me is how I would see that.
Don't pull me into this mess.
That's how I would see that. Whereas you don't need, my point about this is Tarik Skubal is such a great pitcher that he does not need to play any games. All he needs to do is be Tarik Skubal, the multi-time Cy Young Award-winning pitcher, the best pitcher on the planet, and he's going to be the highest-paid pitcher ever and get $400 to $500 million. Get a half a billy as a contract. He doesn't need to leverage or play the Scott Boras angles or do any of that stuff. Just go out there and win a World Series.
I like it. I support it. I think it's totally fine. I'm not mad at him. The words I'm about to say are not a put-down. That's a mercenary. That's called a mercenary.
Yeah.
That's fine. Not every player in these stretched analogies that we have until they break have to love us back, have to love the city back, have to love the Dodgers back. I'm totally with you. It is just a weird... The thing is, and this is going to sound disrespectful to another city, but I'm just going to do it. If Skubal had gone to Tampa Bay, right? Or had gone to Milwaukee and had sort of done this sort of I miss Detroit and I love you and it's hard and it's fresh act that he's doing, I'd understand it because I think we'd all expect, I think most people would anticipate, he ain't staying in Tampa. He ain't staying in Milwaukee. It's a loner. And not to disrespect those cities, but I think most people would say, okay, like this guy's here for a few months and he knows he's not sticking around. And that's what it sounds like when a guy's kind of honest. I didn't really want to be here, but I'll be a pro and I'll do my thing. Part of the reality of L.A., and Skubal is treating L.A. the way he would treat Milwaukee or Tampa Bay, which I just think you can't do if you don't want this reaction, is that he's treating Los Angeles like some wannabe, could-be champion, taking one stab at it. You and I disagree to a degree on whether Milwaukee should have gone for it or how much they did, but we're not in disagreement that Milwaukee doesn't win World Series and that to do it they have to make every decision properly. We're not that. And so I think part of the issue here is Skubal, like LeBron, treating Los Angeles like it's Sioux City, Iowa, or it's Phoenix, Arizona, or it's San Diego, or it's Milwaukee. And he doesn't have to treat LA in a special way, but we're still going to get on him because our sort of overriding reality here is how much we love Los Angeles. Oh, and by the way, this team's won 2 consecutive World Series, so it's not like they're chopped liver either.
100%, exactly. And you're not wrong when it comes to the Milwaukee thing, right? We definitely have a little bit of a disagreement there as far as how we feel like they should have gone all in. One thing we're definitely aligned on the same page is that Tarik Skubal was the game-changing impact pitcher that moved at the deadline that for the Dodgers is supposed to be that big move that takes them over the top. And I will just kind of go back because I don't want to get aggregated again. I saw there's
nothing like getting aggregated. By the way, it sucks, doesn't it?
I mean,
you liked it when I got aggregated.
I loved it.
I've been aggregated 3 times on this show, and you were just so smug about it.
I loved it, okay? There's an
hurts.
article titled saying Dodgers Tarik Skubal talking about Tigers reunion has LA radio host freaking out. That's the
host plural? I got in there?
Yeah, there we go.
I'm
So,
here for it.
we'll take it, right? But my point is that I don't think he is a scumbag, right? I don't think that he was using that moment for leverage. I think that is just what he was saying because he was speaking from the heart. But I think you have to have a better sense. No, I mean, I'm dead serious. Like, I feel like...
I'm not trying to interrupt you. You just did a radio trick that I was so proud of you.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm not saying he's a scumbag is your way of saying you're not saying he's not a scumbag.
I'm saying
I respect it.
I'm saying that if
Tricky.
what some people are suggesting he was doing, that would 100% be scumbag material, and I don't think that is what Tarik Skubal is doing. So, look, you said it too.
Again, I love it.
You said it too.
I don't think Bill has to get a haircut.
If you guys out there think he should get a haircut, you're the scumbag.
That's you.
But look, winning cures all, and I will go back to 2021 after the Dodgers traded for Max Scherzer, and there were some questions.
That was a great time.
That was a great time.
Yeah.
You loved 2020. Oh, and basically, in short here, Max Scherzer had a dominant start against the Astros. The Dodgers went on a run. They didn't win the World Series, but he proved to be a great piece. But Skubal has got a chance to do it tonight and end that Skubal skid.
Yeah, man. The second hand is ticking away on Skubal's debut. I cannot wait. His T-Mac and Reiter. Half the things we do are just jokes aimed at each other. On the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. All right, so I do want to get to this, and if you're down with it, Kyle Tucker deserves not flowers, plural, but we have a singular flower. He has 1 flower. We've taken it out of the vase. We're going to give it to him. Maybe he'll earn more. We'll do that as part of our Hero of the Day nominees next on T-Mac and Reiter. hope you all had a marvelous, marvelous weekend. This is D-Mac and Reiter presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. We do a hero of the day every day. Well, 4 days a week. On Fridays, we do an a-hole of the week. We are going to nominate our heroes now, and I'm going to start with Kyle Tucker, and then you'll have a chance to vote over on the stream at The Fan LA on YouTube, at The Fan LA for the actual winner. Kyle Tucker has been dog poop over the course of much of the season, and that is just it's been the reality. He hasn't performed well, he hasn't played well, he hasn't looked comfortable. But credit where it's due, and hopefully what is due is more credit going forward, that this is the start of something. Over the last 7 games, he's been swinging a really nice bat. I know he had that air in Chicago where D-Mac wanted to get hurt. Okay, that was me. I shouldn't have said it. I did. There's context. On-base percentage over this stretch, 444. Slug, 708. Dude's hitting 375. And for an offense that has been, as you noted, utterly and totally anemic, those are basically Ted Williams numbers in the sort of context of what the Dodgers have been doing. And so I'm going to nominate Kyle Tucker for my hero of the day because he's played really, really well. I don't know if you buy this or not. I'm a big psychology guy. It's just hard to assess when it's really playing out, unlike the numbers for the actual athletic performances on the field. I do wonder if maybe Skubal arriving has just taken all the focus off the guy. And maybe he can just swing the bat a little more chill because everything's been about Tarik Skubal over this stretch.
That's such a great point. I never even thought of that. I mean, just kind of taking on some pressure, focusing on those at-bats. Also, he just feels more comfortable when he's on the road, like we've talked about on this show. And
it's got to continue today to be real, doesn't it?
We'll see. Hopefully
Should I
things
rescind
change.
the nomination?
No, I think we go with it because he's one of the only Dodgers that's been producing offensively. A 601 OPS, that's on base plus slugging at home. 840 OPS on the road. Those are some of the most extreme home road splits that you're ever going to see. 9 home runs on the road, 2 at home. Tonight's a great opportunity for him to just continue that momentum. And look, if Kyle Tucker is going to peak at the end of the year and in the postseason and help the Dodgers kind of mask some of these aging issues and some of these guys that are having down years, this is the perfect time for him to do it. I think just to add to that, and I'll throw out my hero, is we got to see him back in that 2 spot too. I want to see him moved up.
I agree, dude. What's really strange about his inability to play at Dodger Stadium, or maybe strange is the wrong word, it's D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Maybe it just speaks to Tucker really not being comfortable as a Dodger. Is he'd only played 9 or 10 games at Dodger Stadium previously. Dude was hitting 303 with 10 hits and a couple homers, 6 runs driven in, 7 scored in those 9 games before this season. He has road splits at Dodger Stadium when obviously he was playing for other teams. And so it's not like this is a ballpark that is just uniquely designed to not fit his game. It's something else. And hopefully having a good stretch on the road will lead to good things at Dodger Stadium starting tonight.
Yeah, you hear players talk about this, Bill, where the bat-at-bats will roll over and carry over in home games versus when you're on the road, you kind of have that goldfish mentality where you just forget about it, and then every single at-bat kind of stands on itself.
Did you just Ted Lasso me?
Is that
was great.
But I think that's the thing
so.
with Kyle Tucker, right? I think that you're playing in front of 50,000 plus. You got that batter's eye, 1 strikeout. You're kind of thinking about him. So let's hope that he builds on this and he's that hitter that we know that he can be and that he earns that massive record-breaking contract. Okay, I'm going to go with Seth Halverson. As you just point out, it was reported that the Dodgers are calling up reliever Seth Halverson. Now, this is a sneaky move. The Dodgers acquired the right-handed pitcher back on July 20th when they trade away pitcher Nick Frasso and outfielder Landon Vitarek to the Rockies. This dude can throw straight up gas. We're talking about triple-digit heat. We'll see what the move is for. Alex Vesia's pitched a lot. Edwin Diaz just came back. We'll see what the corresponding move is. But that's exciting stuff because he could turn into a high-leverage, prominent piece for the Dodgers. And we know that the bullpen has been really, really good of late. They've also pitched a lot. So let's see what Seth Halverson can do for the Dodgers.
I mean, D-Mac, based on Eric Lauer, who you doubted and I didn't, that's a lie. It was the exact opposite when Eric Lauer
doubt him
came
now,
here. Yeah.
I'm with you now.
But I mean, look, that sort of 5-0 beginning, and they won all 9 games of his first 9 starts. I expect Halverson to, in effect, have a .01 earned run average and have, 8 consecutive perfect outings. I'm going to go with someone that you're not going to like.
Ooh.
I don't think you're going to love this. And some of this is just credit where it's due, and some of this is a shot at you. That was a poem on accident that I just pulled there on D-Mac and Reiter. Eduardo Rodriguez for throwing 115 pitches It turns out, Doug, and I've been spending too much time with you, I actually had believed over the last 2 months that if you threw more than 90 pitches in a good outing, your arm would actually fall off. And so as I checked today, his arm's still attached. Everything's great.
Is it?
So, yeah, it is. It's still there.
Good to see. Good to see.
115 pitches. Yeah, it's an opposing team's pitcher who beat the Dodgers. But really, I'm simply nominating for the hero those pitchers who are still man enough to throw more than 85 pitches.
Respect to that.
You can just write down real men if you want in the thing over on the guy.
Stepping up, old school. He's an old school. Eduardo Rodriguez going out there, throwing 114 pitches. Respect to him. I'll go with the Dodgers relievers as a group. Let's kind of focus on some of the positives, even during this stretch.
Edwin Diaz, though?
Yeah, I think, Edwin Diaz, Saturday, that walk-off was rough.
Yeah,
that
was Friday, right?
Friday, and Saturday he came back, but he did.
And Saturday, he blew it again Saturday, but the Dodgers won in extras.
They did win in extras.
Feels like a year ago.
Saturday. And they gave like 2 triples. It was crazy. But yesterday they did step up. Eduardo Rodriguez, Evan Phillips, Kyle Hurt, Jonathan Hernandez. They retired all 14 batters they faced after Robo was taken out of the game. So there are some positives. You got Evan Phillips, who's starting to look like the Evan Phillips of old. Kyle Hurt, a little bumpy road there. But the guys that they need to pitch well, at least some of them are starting to round into form. You still need to see Edwin Diaz get it together because it was not fun on Friday to get walked off like that. But he did turn around second consecutive night, was able to see a little bit better results. It's going to take some time. And I think from a mental standpoint, he understands the process of this. I trust that Edwin Diaz will get back to form versus last year when Tanner Scott lost it. It was tough to imagine him being that guy. So shout out to the bullpen as a whole.
It is the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. We're the only sports talk radio station in Southern California on the FM dial. You can always call us at 855-97 LA Fan. Also, we're streaming all the time, and not just us, all the shows on YouTube at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. Check us out there. This next nomination stems from an Imagine Dragons concert at the Minneapolis Super Bowl. I don't know when that was, 2017. I can't even remember. I don't remember who won that. I think the Eagles beat the Patriots. I think it was the Eagles. But anyway, I was at the Imagine Dragons concert, and I looked to my right, and there was Kirk Cousins. And he was dancing, and he was vibing. He was like doing the put away the groceries. He did not have moves, but he did have confidence. And in retrospect, I looked at that man, and I thought, that guy's not big. That's not someone who would ever charge, say, I don't know, Max Crosby, grab him by the scruff and try to fight him. And that's exactly what Cousins did over the weekend. We're going to talk about it in about 15 minutes. But I just want to salute little dudes losing their mind and trying to fight big dudes that they shouldn't. Kirk Cousins, to all of us that are not tall, you're a hero, sir. What is a hero, Mr. Lebowski? Is it charging Max Muncy? Yeah, that and a pair of whatever. Yeah.
He's not afraid. I love it. I love it.
Don't do the show on the show. Quick nomination.
Quick one.
All right.
I'll go UCLA quarterback Nico Iamaleava. Watched a nice little doc on the UCLA football team this weekend. It was like 2 hours. I know I slipped into it on a Saturday night.
Iamaleava, let's go.
Yeah, he is a guy that could be a dark horse Heisman Trophy candidate. He could be a top 5.
Based on the doc?
Yeah, okay. Yes, the leadership.
I like it.
This guy
you
outside of
his DMs, though. Were you DMing him, like trying to get him on the show?
I was DMing him. Yeah, I'm still working on that. I think it's.
Did he say, I need you to leave me alone?
I think it was like, hey, bro, like, I think I got blocked, basically. But for him, for this UCLA team, lots of excitement around the Bruins. You're starting fall camp, and look for Nico. I'm telling you, outside of Arch Manning, he could be the top quarterback selected in next year's draft.
I'm going to nominate Bursch because he has more vacation time than any person in radio history. He's like the Jim Rome of producers.
You know why I take a lot of vacation? Because I get a lot of vacation.
The look on your face. Your mouth just dropped. I can't make jokes about that.
Oh, I don't know.
I already did it.
That was, hey. Yeah.
Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. Hey, I got vacation
I'm going to
next
miss you
week.
guys next week.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't tell Andrew. I'm getting Doug McCain.
You're looking
and
a little
Ryan
flush
Berger.
today.
I'm going through McCain Bursch
Are you
withdrawal.
good?
No. It's a struggle. It's a struggle, bro.
I love it. Well, hey, then I'll nominate Sammy, too, our social media superstar.
Oh, yeah, for actually showing up for work next week.
Yeah, exactly, right? She knows how to balance it out. Take the vacation when you need it, come back strong, and keep crushing it. So, shout out to Sammy.
Should we 4 box?
Just 4 bucks, baby.
Yeah.
Where's the 4 box?
Let's go.
They love the 4 box.
In fairness, I haven't pointed out that I'm taking vacation in September.
I know.
I am a hypocrite. I am a hypocrite, sir.
You were smart, though. You took it after us, so it's less magnified. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to nominate Dylan Hernandez for asking Tarik Skubal about but mostly your correctly sort of moralistically self-righteous, how dare you look at your ex take from last week. It actually takes guts, even to walk up to a guy and be like, hey, man, this is what people are saying on the streets.
Yeah, we know he's certainly capable of doing that. There's one guy.
That guy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's got to come on the show again. Last time he was on the show, he created a little controversy with his comments on Shohei Ohtani. But yeah, God forbid a fan of the Dodgers gets a little irked when a player is still talking glowingly and saying that they would love to sign with your former team. I kind of hated that, and I still do.
What's the vibe in Detroit on this guy?
Well,
because they've been playing your clip on Detroit radio, right?
What I've heard is, and some comments that I received were, "Oh, he's your problem now."
Oh,
that's what I heard.
So I'm not saying this is what Doug did. This is the trick. I'm not saying he's a toxic ex, and that could be a big problem for the Dodgers. But other people might be saying that. I'm not saying that Tarik Skubal, if he doesn't pitch incredibly well, is toxic.
I mean,
I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying it either.
Bursch might be saying it, but he's on vacation, so we don't know.
What Detroit Tigers fans were saying about me, and apparently when they were playing my clip in Detroit, they were saying similar things like, "Oh, this guy talks a lot and this and that." But hey, most important thing, I don't care if he talks. I just want him to win and help this Dodgers win a third straight title. And
can I take this analogy to a bad place?
Yeah,
you're not in it for love. You're not. This one's not for love. Skubal is a means to an end.
I've turned to the dark side. You're right.
That end is a ring, but not in the sense of let's walk down the the aisle together.
Just, do what you got to do.
I understand. Okay, so there's a sort of doomerism Lakers vibe out there we're going to get to. But first, Kirk Cousins versus Max Crosby. I'm not making this up. This is real. It wasn't a Netflix special. We'll break it down, Raiders fans, next here on DMAC and Reiter. All right, what up? Welcome back into the show. D-Mac and Reiter presented by DTLA Law Group. That is DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That is injury help to 40222. Lots of ways to hang out here to get the show on YouTube at The Fan LA. That's YouTube at The Fan LA. We're also on the FM. If you're in the car, you're listening to the radio, wherever you're doing that, 97.1 is the spot. So, I got to tell you something. I don't know. I know you're a Rams fan. Where do you come down on the Raiders? Do you like them, hate them? I want them to be successful. I think they're interesting. I'm interested in what Tom Brady can or can't do. I'm
not a Raiders hater. I'm a 49ers hater, Seahawks hater. I think the Raiders have a great tradition, a history. Yes, they have not made the playoffs and had a big moment a long, long time. But, hey, you cannot deny the history of the silver and black. So I will always have respect for the Raiders.
By the way, I forgot to do the giveaway, so let's just do it right now. This is the number you need, 855-97-LA-FAN. The LA Sparks are hosting Dodgers Night on August 20th at Crypto.com Arena. The first 12,500 fans will receive a free Sparks and Dodgers co-branded jersey. It's super cool. Get your tickets on LASparks.com. That's LASparks.com, or call in right now. Caller number 4 gets a 4-pack of tickets to Dodgers Night at Crypto.com Arena as the Sparks host the Atlanta Dream on August 20th. So, I don't know why. I like fights, man. I like it. I think we had this talk on Friday. I like the passion. I want to know the athletes that I'm rooting for, rooting against, that we're talking about. Give a damn. And so, over the weekend, I think it was on Friday, they were going through the sort of, the machinations of training camp, and it was coming to a close. And Max Crosby bumped into Kirk Cousins a few times, and on the second or third time, Cousins lost his mind, went after Max Crosby, grabbed him by the vest, and then was quickly separated by his offensive lineman, who I would imagine thought this dude is going to get broken in half. Now, they both set out the next day, and Clint Kubiak talked about Cousins, I think it's so funny, and Crosby's weekend scuffle.
Yeah, that's training camp. Those two leaders of our team going at it. So that is part of camp. Obviously, you fight in the game, you throw a punch in the game, especially then you're out of the game. So we got to be smart, treat it like a game.
I got to tell you, dude, I know that you don't want your cornerback getting in a fight with players on the defensive side, especially the best player on the defense, especially a guy that, I don't know, maybe Crosby's in his feelings because of the rescinded trade situation. And I still think Kirk Cousins is bad at quarterback now. I think he is I think he's washed. I love the passion, dude. It kind of makes me rooting for Kirk Cousins.
I love it, too. I think this is the tone you want to set. You want to get guys competing at that level, and sometimes, especially in these dog days where it's hot out there, especially for the vets going out there and getting ready and preparing yourself for the season, I love the fact that Cousins is willing to not be afraid, not back down. Yes, of course, you don't want your quarterback putting himself in that situation, but this is what the Raiders need. They need an edge. They need a quarterback that is going to the alpha of the team, the top dog of the team, and say, hey, guess what? As great as Max Crosby has been, you have not won here. There's been no winning for the Raiders. And Kirk Cousins, he has done some winning at the highest level. Not really, but he has had some success in this league, and I think he's got the respect in this league too. So I loved it. When I saw that, I was like, bro, this is like a Chihuahua going at a Great Dane or something.
Right, for real.
But still, you got to appreciate the heart, man.
Now there's a bit of a flip side to this, and that is that obviously Kubiak wanted to make an example of these guys. They dressed, but they did not participate the next day at camp. And so it was Mendoza who got the nod. And by all accounts, he looked, and I think Vinny Bonsignore, I like his work a lot. He's now at the California Post, right? Vinny is? Yeah, he's great. He said Mendoza looked really, really good. His best outing of camp, showed some flashes of why they drafted him with the number 1 overall pick. And so I'm not saying that it's a quarterback controversy. The plan doesn't change. It's just training camp. We can overreact to it. But it is encouraging to think that whenever they turn to Mendoza, whether that's week 4 or 6, or I don't know I'll be curious what you think it is. Maybe the dude can do it, because I think you and I are both a little skeptical, a little agnostic at best on that guy.
I am, but I like to hear that. If I'm a Raiders fan, just to hear this early. I think the thing about Mendoza is I don't think he's going to fail because of lack of preparation or the lack of installing offenses.
I'm
and
not making fun of you. How's the arm talent? I'm being serious.
I think, look, arm talent wise, it's not elite, right? It's not overpowering, but he's a guy that he does what he does well, and that is back shoulder fade throws. That's processing and making the right decisions. But he does not have a cannon, but he can make the throws, right? I think for him, it's about just combining and optimizing what he does well, and that is going out there and kind of spamming when something is working, going to different formations that have his skill set. I think Kubiak is a guy that you really want to see with him as well, someone that's a true offensive guru. I do want to kind of go back to the Max Crosby thing, which
I'm here for it.
I find pretty interesting, is that, look, I love Max Crosby. I think he's a great player. I think he's been one of the best players in the league. But for your franchise defensive player, a guy that you tried to trade to go after a quarterback like that.
Well, Cousins went after him first.
He did, but still, that's a quarterback. You still have to kind of respect that.
He's got that red jersey on.
He's got the red jersey on.
Do not touch.
He's the guy that's going to be starting the year for you, and it just kind of makes you wonder. Max Crosby claims he wants to win, and he wants to be that guy that's going to help take the Raiders to the next level. But I think there's been a little bit of a change of the guard in Las Vegas, because it was Max Crosby's team. He was the face of it. But let's not forget, in 2024, people say that Max Crosby was the guy that was responsible for them picking their head coach in Antonio Pierce, right? And he had a lot of power over the organization. Maybe this is kind of the start of, hey, like, yes, Max Crosby's still really, really good, but he's not the guy that is going to be carrying all the weight for this organization. You kind of have to remind him that.
I mean, look, whether he's a Raider or not indefinitely, they obviously made plans without him. They obviously thought he would be better off being with somebody else. And so you did the Tarik Skubal eyeing the X thing, right? Max Crosby's the guy whose wife, the Raiders, broke up with him, told him she was going to leave for the neighbor, and then was like, actually, I guess you can stay here, and we need to stay in the house together. I mean, it is really awkward. Here's what I love about the Kirk. Can I go to Kirk Cousins really quick?
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins was terrible in Atlanta, and unlike in Atlanta, where he left Minnesota and got another big contract, and he did not anticipate they were going to draft. I mean, Michael Penix Jr. is the quarterback of no future, but that's what it looked like it was going to be. This is a place where he came and he understood. He signed here knowing that the Raiders were gonna draft with that pick their quarterback of the future. So he doesn't expect to be the Raiders starter next year. He probably doesn't expect to be the Raiders starter week 10. I think, though, there's an understanding that Crosby can't actually lay him out. And so I think for Cousins, this was about trying to solidify himself as a leader and trying to show that he's tough and try to create a little bit of street cred, because he's new in that locker room. It's not like Kirk Cousins has a whole bunch of credibility with that Raiders organization and these players, right? He's the new guy. And part of what I love about it, beyond just him fighting for his place and his spot and his credibility and his like, I will go toe-to-toe with this big dude, knowing that maybe Crosby can't knock him down because he's the quarterback. I just like what it signals to Mendoza, just as a lesson in how you navigate the politics of a football team and how when you're the quarterback, you have to assert yourself as the alpha in whatever way is possible.
Yeah, I love that. I think that there's something to that, some type of ulterior motive. I also think, too, with Max Crosby in that situation, I mean, there's really no excuse for trying to hit your starting quarterback's throwing arm. And to reportedly do it 2 times, I don't care if you're trying to be this big bad guy, but there's been a lot of reports over the last couple of seasons that he's someone that maybe doesn't follow practice protocols as well, and it kind of feeds into that. But on Kirk Cousins' end, this is a guy that's gotten paid, right? This is a guy that I don't think...
He's made so much money.
He's made so much money. Is he
the top 5 all-time in quarterback
That's a good
earnings?
question.
I think he is.
Top of the dome. I mean, he's the guy who was a pioneer, really, for getting that guaranteed contract. But I think that if you are Kirk Cousins, really your lasting impact could really be, hey, right, I brought the Raiders back to respectability.
Guess where he is. So it's D-Mac and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I'm looking at it, so it's not fair. What did I guess? What was my guess? What first word did I go? 5? Top 5, I said. What do you think he is?
All-time and the actual value.
All-time career earnings, actual earnings.
He signed some big the Vikings and the I would say, because you got Stafford in there, you got Mahomes in there. I'm going to say 6.
Close. 4th.
4th.
Number 1 Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Number 2, Aaron Rodgers. Number 3, Tom Brady.
Wow, Tom Brady, yeah.
Cousins,
I'm
dude.
gonna say
that
what 3
is wild, man.
I'll say 324. What's the career earnings?
That's a really good guess.
Was it?
Did you look?
No, I did not.
I'm going to round up 322.
322?
Can we get a cheer?
That's pretty good.
That's really, you know what?
Let's see. Kirk Cousins.
That is very, Very impressive. D-Mac and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Here, all right. So you're a big football guy. You're about to do a great Rams podcast for 97.1 The Fan. I cannot wait to listen. Can I tell you something? It's a little mean-spirited. I take the job really seriously, and I've been listening to Dodgers podcast nonstop since I knew this station was possible before I got this job. I've been listening to I don't really need to listen to Lakers podcasts because I've been doing that for a living, and I've been trying to find a Rams podcast, and they are garbage. So I am. They are, dude.
You put me in a tough spot.
Don't say anything.
You put me in a really tough spot.
I'm not asking your opinion. I'm giving you a statement. You don't have to wait on this.
Okay.
The Rams podcasts that are out there are currently garbage, and I'm very, very excited. Not rushing, you have to but I cannot wait till your Rams podcast gets going. So when I listen to a Rams podcast, it will actually be the opposite of that.
You don't feel like you already listened to enough of me? We do a show together. You're really going to listen to my Rams exclusive podcast? Come on, Bill. Come on.
You were just making fun of me because I was texting you guys on Saturday.
You were.
I'm
Bill
a psycho about this show.
Bill, you are easily top 5 craziest, most psychotic people I've ever met.
Come on,
I'm
man.
not just saying that, and I have plenty of examples that we'll probably spend a top 5, bottom 5 one of these days on. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, Rams fans, I know you guys have been asking about your boy out at Rams training camp for the last couple of weeks. We got something special in store for you. Whose house? The fans' house. We're going to get into that at some point. But
people think I'm taking shots at your old podcast. I'm not. Doug is not on a Rams podcast right now. It was, so I didn't listen. So people are, anyway, D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I'm not going to lie, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks, this podcast is so good because they work in the same market as me. It's not, man. You're really good. You're not on it. It's not as good.
You're fearless, bro.
You're the talent, dude. You were the talent.
You're
That's
crazy.
fine.
Bill
That's
Reiter,
fine.
first guest for sure. Yeah.
No, you'd be better than that.
No.
Dude, first guest should be Brock Vereen, dude.
Oh, that'd be great.
Brock is so good on. When I'm driving in, man, when he talks football, I turn the radio up.
Dude, he's a ball knower supreme, dude.
He is really, really good.
I didn't even know did you know that he intercepted Matthew Stafford?
You told me.
Yeah. I've seen it a bunch. Any interceptions for you ever? Like, did you ever play defense football?
So I didn't play. I only played football in 8th grade.
Okay.
And then I played baseball and tennis. But I did play a lot of tackle football out, like sort of my friends. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts. I'm just saying, to interview,
fast.
I'm thinking about my best interception. I think I've intercepted my neighbor's Uber Eats.
You played high school football?
That's about, I got some Thai food from my neighbor on accident, but I did have some picks.
I've intercepted some of your bad takes on the show.
Okay.
Does that took a couple back to the
Finish him.
D-Mac and Reiter. All right, here's a new rule. Whenever we talk about Brock Vereen, we have to go Brock Vereen. Let me try it again, okay? Hey, you know who's should be a great first guest for you? Brock Vereen, who played in the NFL and picked off Matt Stafford. Every time we just bring it up.
That's ultimate flex, baby.
That's it. It's real, right?
Back of the end zone, man. Sweet.
I mean, I once beat Andy Roddick in a TV debate. That's basically the highlight of my career. You know what I'm saying?
That's up there for sure.
Picked off Matt Stafford.
Yeah. And all Big Ten at Minnesota, man. Golden Gophers.
Are you down to shift to a little bit of Lakers talk? Because, I like Zach Lowe. And I probably owe Zach a pass because at the 2011 NBA Finals, when he introduced himself to me, he said, "Oh, I like your work." I said, "Thanks." And then I tripped and I spilled my entire water directly onto his laptop and destroyed it.
Oh, you destroyed it?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no.
It was bad.
Wow,
Zach. Oh no,
that's a new Zach Lowe. That's a new low for you, Bill.
It was a low. On the Zach Lowe show, he gave his thoughts, and Lakers fans have been pushing back, and we will too. He gave his thoughts on where the Lakers are now positioned trapped after the trade for Walker Kessler.
I like Walker Kessler as a player. There is no question that they overpaid for him and are now trapped with this team and have to figure out either this is the team or is there a way to pivot by trading Austin Reeves down the line or something like that because they're out of tradable assets because of the Walker Kessler deal.
So here's what people have pointed out was my first, and look, Zach's great, and I will say this as somebody who covered the NBA on and off for 12 years. I know a lot of scouts and a lot of GMs, not even GMs. I mean, everybody knows GMs. I know a lot of random scouts. Zach Lowe would make more calls than anybody that you knew. Every time I would introduce myself to some new scout and get to know somebody, Zach Lowe was that guy like does the work. But when you say trapped, it's not. The Lakers are in a position where they have to try to capitalize on this Luka window. They can't wait a year or two. We live in a time when players who have professed a love for a city who never want to leave, Giannis Antetokounmpo is just one of many examples, leave. And not just leave when they're still under contract. Luka did not ask to come to Los Angeles. He did not want to come to Los Angeles. Now, he hasn't turned away from it like Skubal. He didn't show up at his press conference and go, I miss Dallas and I want to go back the way Skubal did on Detroit. But we know that that was something that he didn't expect to happen. And so you've got to win. The way that you win over Luka Doncic is you win. You don't have 2 or 3 years to build something. I don't understand this sort of anti-Walker Kessler take. The issue on Kessler isn't whether he's good enough. It's whether he's healthy enough. Full stop.
Exactly. And that's the thing, too. I mean, there's a lot of things in play here, is that you're trying to put together a roster with Luka Doncic to maximize the window with him, knowing that you don't have him for forever, knowing that you want to keep him happy, and also, too, just the upside play there. I think that Walker Kessler is someone that has a lot of untapped potential. He's someone that has proven to be a very good defensive player, and just plugging him into a role that was occupied by DeAndre Ayton, some guy that required the DeAndre Ayton crunk juice or whatever it was to try to get him to have some effort. Just imagine if you can clean up some things defensively and allow Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves to do what they do best, to thrive on the defensive end, on the offensive end, and allow Walker Kessler to do what he does best and thrive on the defensive end. I still think that you got to get another starting wing. I mean, I still am in on Kuminga. Maybe they get P.J. Washington at some point during the season. But I think the ceiling is there. The ceiling is there.
And the other thing is, and I want to give you this because I'm about to get mad at Dave Roberts, but the other thing here, I am, at DMAC and Reiter, is they've also built a young team. And so you can win, right? And that keeps Luka Doncic happy. Or you can show signs that this is going to work, and then you can convince Luka there's a longer-term play. There are a lot of teams built around the NBA now that have to win now. I mean, the Philly is an example. That group is not going to have a good season and realize they can win an NBA championship in 27 or 28. The Lakers can do both, and I know Lakers fans don't want to wait, but the real goal is to keep Luka happy. All right, I don't love this. So Tarik Skubal's home debut with the Dodgers is tonight. And there's no Kyle Tucker in the lineup. I know it's a lefty. Bursch points out that it's a lefty, but this guy's like a platoon player now. Here's the starting lineup. Shohei Ohtani, Andy Pajes, Freddie Freeman, Tommy Edman is hitting cleanup. Man, no, I don't know why the offense is struggling. Mookie Betts, Miguel Rojas at second, Teo, Max Muncy, and Fiducia is the catcher. We just got done talking about the fact that over the last 7 games, Kyle Tucker has had maybe his best stretch as a Dodger. He's been swinging a really good bat. Obviously, he hasn't played well at Dodger Stadium. You explain this to me, because I know Dave's amazing. Dave Roberts is great. Why not let the dude play on the off chance that the momentum that he has from the last 7 games on the road can transfer to Dodger Stadium, whereas you have noted the splits have been brutal as it relates to what he does at Dodger Stadium? I don't understand this. It's the Royals, dude.
This would be the ultimate night to think about this. And you bring up a great point.
Be hurt, dude. He better be hurt.
Something better be wrong, too. I agree with you, because you brought up a really, really good point last segment when you mentioned, hey, all of this attention for Tarik Skubal, him being center stage, all the focus being on him, maybe has allowed Kyle Tucker just to focus on good at-bats, and he's been productive. But tonight, this is going to be one of the most highly anticipated Dodgers games of the regular season. It is Tarik Skubal's home debut. Let's say Kyle Tucker goes 2 for 4 tonight, has a double and a home run, and is a big part of why the Dodgers win because of his offense. That will be a game where I think a lot of Dodgers fans will say, hey, the casual crowd is here. The hardcore crowd is here. He's continuing to build, but I think that you kind of put that momentum in neutral when you leave him out of the lineup. And the reason, as Bursch pointed out, you got a lefty on the mound. He has a 779 OPS versus lefty this year's, and that's better than his 706 OPS versus righty. So he's been better against lefties than he has been against righties. So he's been a platoon neutral player for most of his career. I'm very, very perplexed as to why Dave did this. Let Kyle Tucker play.
I'm going to slightly walk back my Dave criticism and then increase it in general, because Dave is a collaborator. And so to Dave Roberts and all the other decisions, because they collaborate, right? Andrew Friedman is not never speaking to Dave Roberts and Gomes and those guys. Decision makers, and Dave is the face of that. I don't love it. I'd love to hear an explanation, and this is live radio, so maybe it'll come out in the next, when Dave speaks, and we'll get you that sound. We're going to preview the game for you. Maybe it'll come out that the Kyle Tucker, is feeling a little something in the hammy or the back or whatever. Maybe there's a little something there. It's a precaution. But here's the other reason I hate it. And by the way, that lefty split is interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
There's no reason to have him out. I mean, against lefties this year, he's hitting 263. Against righties, hitting 336.
Against this lefty, he could be hitting 482. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He's not facing Tarik Skubal. Tarik Skubal's now on his team. All right, so the other thing is, and again, what I'm about to say might be a real factor. It might be a stupid thing to say, but I just want to put it out there because I brought it up earlier. Kyle Tucker has been under massive pressure. He hasn't played well. There was a stretch when he didn't go to his locker, and you pointed that out, and that became a talking point. He does make $60 million, and he hasn't fit in. He is the highest paid addition to the team, and he often hits in the 7th spot. I mean, right, we know that he hasn't lived up to expectations, and he hasn't been comfortable. He has to answer questions about that a lot of days, right? There's a lot of people that cover the Dodgers, especially at Dodger Stadium. In this ecosystem, and for those of you that don't know, when you're the Dodgers or the Lakers, there's a lot more media at home than on the road because not every media outlet can or will afford to send people on the road. And so the scrutiny, the questions that annoy you, right? When things aren't going well, the number of people asking you about it increases when you're playing at home. That's a reality. Today is one of the few days where no one's going to care. It almost doesn't matter what he does, barring he screws up Skubal's home debut, because all the questions are going to be directed toward Tarik Skubal. Tarik Skubal, first start as a Dodger at Dodger Stadium, is going to take all the media oxygen out of the room. And so if there's ever a day that you could play Kyle Tucker, and if he goes 0 for 4 or 0 for 5, if he swings out 4 times on 12 pitches, this is the day where no one's going to talk about it.
This is a perfect exactly. They're not going to be talking about it as much, but I think here's the thing. Kyle Tucker is too good at baseball to be sitting out, to not be playing. I'm very curious to see what Dave Roberts has to say about all of this. But if this is a part of their master plan, which, by the way, Bill, Kyle Tucker did mention last couple of days that the Dodgers have a master plan, and maybe their thought process is, okay, Kyle Tucker's out of the lineup. The one guy that's been producing consistently, that puts pressure on some other guys in this lineup to step up. But I just think that you just got to keep stacking really good days, stacking really good at-bats. I don't think that the Dodgers are looking at this saying, okay, this lineup is better without Kyle Tucker, but I just think they should not be using him.
It doesn't make any sense.
Especially, too, let's point this out. They are scratching and clawing to get one of those first 2 byes. Right now, if the postseason were to begin today, the Dodgers would have to play in the wild card round. They're behind the Brewers. They're behind the Braves. Yes, they did it last year, but considering how much baseball they played, I would not want to play those 2 extra games. I wouldn't want to put yourself in a position where you have to play better teams in the DS. Kyle Tucker, if he's healthy, should 100% be in the lineup.
I don't know if Dave has an Apple Watch or not, but on those kind of watches, you can get on there. You can get kind of the data you're talking about. It doesn't make sense to me. It's D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.
The Red Sox had an Apple Watch in 2018.
Did they?
To that much.
There you go. The new 97. The new 97 on the Fan, the voice of LA sports. It is time to talk more Kyle Tucker and maybe a little Kawhi next on D-Mac and Reiter. All right, what's up? He's Doug McCain. I'm Bill Reiter. It's D-Mac and Reiter presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. I don't want to be aggregated on Kyle Tucker. I don't want to be misrepresented by my good friend Doug McCain. I'm not hoping that Kyle Tucker is injured, but he better have something going on to sit him today. It doesn't make any sense, as we discussed, since the Skubal trade went down quietly, because the Dodgers are 1-6 over that stretch. Kyle Tucker's been awesome. He's been the guy they paid for. And you bench him.
Maybe the Dodgers are saying he's only going to play on the road because that's where he's good.
My God, that's
Is
hilarious.
there a possibility of that? Of
The
course,
most
I'm
expensive
kidding.
platoon player in history.
Exactly, the most expensive platoon player that only plays on the road. I think, too, if I'm Kyle Tucker, he did say after the game this weekend about the Dodgers and their master plan. And what he was kind of alluding to was we are going to rest guys, especially if they're scheduled days, if they've played in consecutive games.
I mean, I'm not arguing with you. I know, but you've got to be able to have a little jazz mix, and you got to be able to audible.
So in that situation, I agree. I mean, that's kind of been one of the criticisms. I mean, it's tough to criticize the process for a team that's just won back-to-back titles, but I'm with you. I mean, if I'm Kyle Tucker and I'm out of the lineup, I'm disappointed by this, right? I want to continue to build because hitters, it's all about rhythm, right? And missing one game can really set you back. And I think if you're Kyle Tucker, yes, there has been more success, but I think for himself to feel comfortable about where he's at and what he's doing for this team, he's going to want to see extended success at home, and now we're not going to be able to see that. I think, too, like I said, it's going to be, I don't know if it's like postseason adjacent, but there's going to be an electric atmosphere at tonight's game. And I think for Kyle Tucker, he came here to win World Series titles. He came here to get paid, but also compete at the highest level. He's going to want to experience what it's like at Dodger Stadium when it's rocking because, look, this is a big night. It's Tarik Skubal at Dodger Stadium in his home debut. So it's disappointing. We'll wait to see what Dave Roberts has to say about it, but there better be a good excuse. There better be a really good reason for this.
To quote my 17-year-old daughter, that's a great shout. It is D-Mac and Ryder on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. And remember, we do a mailbag every day at 5:30, so you can go over on the stream on YouTube at The Fan LA, drop your questions or your takes, your views into the comment section. We'll get to those. Gabriel Cohen, we're going to get to that. We've got Tom Stevens, 92, throwing some, I think, well-deserved praise D-Mac's way. Robert Wallace has a question for me, and so we'll get to all of those later in the show. Here's the other thing about Kyle Tucker, right? Whatever your sort of plan. We know the guy is a capable baseball player. The Dodgers front office do not give that kind of money to someone who sucks. He can hit. He can play. He can perform. It doesn't mean that he will, but he's capable of it. He hasn't played well at Dodger Stadium. We know that. It's obviously a mental block, dude, right? There's some kind of confidence thing because he's playing pretty well on the road. And so, again, this is a psychology problem as much as it is an analytics problem. He has played well the last 7 games. He has to be in a good headspace. Let him continue. We have a phone call. We're going to take it. 855-97 LA fan. If you want to join the conversation, let's go. I was just in Century City. Mark in Century City, thank you for hanging out. You are on D-Mac and Ryder.
Hey, guys. Hey, D-Mac, I sent you a tweet yesterday about this. So, Robo's arm. I just want to remind you that I was at the stadium in 2021 when Walker Buehler pitched against the Braves in the playoffs, and I could even see how the balls were leaking high in the zone. And you could tell he was injured, and I'm starting to see the same thing now with Robo, Emmett Sheehan. These young pitchers are getting worn into the ground, and they don't have anything left. And I think that's what we're seeing right now.
Mark, it's a really good point. Thank you for the phone call in Century City. Thank you for hanging out here on D-Mac and Ryder. If you want to agree with or disagree with or add to Mark's point, 855-97 LA fan. There's certainly a thought process out there, and Mark's not alone, and it's not a bad one, that the Dodgers maybe have a tendency with their young pitchers who aren't a part of the postseason plan or the long-term plan to do the opposite of what they have done with, say, Shohei Ohtani and just run these guys into the ground. In effect, the math equation is ride these guys however long you can. that might be part of what's going on.
Yeah, certainly. I think you look at Justin Robleski and the year that he's had this season. We've talked about it, right? That at some point he was due for some negative regression based on the quality of contact. Their ball was being put in play against him, but he was benefiting on some really good luck, great defense behind him. But some of his numbers are out of whack. And if we're talking about in totality in a vacuum, yes, you would absolutely sign up for 120 in the third innings, 19 starts in 20 games, a 3.44 ERA for Justin Robleski.
To Mark's point, 17 runs in the last 20 innings, and I think it's 7 home runs he surrendered in the last 3 starts. He had 6 in the 2 before preceding this weekend's. Here's a question I have for you, and I'm not trying to get you in hot water here on DMAC and Reiter. I'm not trying to get you aggregated. I'm not trying to get you so you're banned from the Dodgers clubhouse. But we talk a lot about what is owed, right? And I think you have brought up, will Skubal, as a Scott Boras client, go the route of Scherzer and prioritize his own offseason over the Dodgers? And I think we're in agreement that we want our pitchers, within reason, to pitch when they're supposed to and not think about their next deal. Is there a reverse expectation? If the Dodgers' sort of secret algorithm, if Andrew Friedman and the Dodgers' secret equation says, you know what, we're going to take these young guys and we're going to run them into the ground, and it may have a negative impact on them, but it's good for the team, is that okay? I think it probably is, but it's kind of ugly.
Well, it certainly is. I mean, I think we've kind of talked a little bit about this, Bill, in that the Dodgers are always going to focus on keeping those aces as healthy as they possibly can. If there's any injury issues, they were not pitch them. Just look at Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow. They've combined to go 8 starts this year.
I understand, but I'm just saying, do you think the Dodgers front office owes anything to young pitchers that they might wear into the ground?
They don't necessarily owe them, because look at Justin Robleski, right? He made the All-Star team. He probably would sign up for the year that he's had, but everything comes with a cost. And the price of pitching Justin Robleski the way they have is starting to loom large, right? It's starting to rear its ugly head. And you mentioned those home runs, right? He's given up 9 home runs his last 3 starts.
It's 9. It's 9.
So 4-4. You know what's wild? No Dodgers
you're
pitcher.
Right. It's 4-4 and 1.
It's 4-4 and 1.
Math is hard for
the Marte one was over the weekend. But think about this. No Dodgers pitcher in the history of this sport had ever given up 4 home runs in back-to-back starts. Justin Robleski was the first guy to give up 4 home runs in back-to-back starts, and the reason for that is the ineffectiveness of that four-seam fastball. And we saw for most of this season, when he was throwing that four-seam fastball, it was on the corners, it was on the edges. Now he's leaving it out over the plate, and it's getting hit for home runs. His stuff isn't good enough to be able to avoid those mistakes, and I think for Robleski, it's pretty simple. It's great what he did this year. He covered a lot of innings, but from an injury standpoint, are they putting him at risk? I wouldn't necessarily say that, but I will say that now we know that when Blake Snell's back, which is going to be tomorrow, and then Glasnow back in the next couple of weeks, Robleski's time in the starting rotation, it's got to be coming to an end, and I think that the goal for him, the focus has to be, let's see if we can get back to where I'm not giving you everything I have for 6 or 7 innings. I'm giving you everything I have for an inning or 2, so the stuff starts to play up like it did early in the year.
The offense, it's DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan. We talked about this earlier. The offense has been awful, however you measure it. Last 30 games, Dodgers are 23rd in baseball in runs scored. They're 14th in the National League since the start of July. Their team's weighted runs created plus, a stat that I knew about, but you have made me fall in love with. It was 93, which is 23rd in baseball. Since July 1st, the Dodgers have seen the highest percentage of fastballs, 59%, and they're hitting, basically, their on-base percentage is 310, their slug is 383 against fastballs. So they're not scoring runs. The bullpen's been better, but Edwin Diaz has not been very good. One of the strengths, one of the sort of things that's been okay at times, has been the starting pitching, Roki in particular, but dude, Sheehan, obviously not in the mix. Robo, not pitching well. Eric Lauer, it's not 4 outings that have been problematic, but he sure looked like he turned back into a pumpkin when the clock struck the trade deadline. Again, I know the Dodgers are great. You kind of want to see a little bit more reliability. Well, we don't know what Snell's going to be tomorrow. Glasnow's not back yet. I mean, there's some frailty in this team, despite how talented they are.
Absolutely. And I think that that's really what this next couple of weeks is about, is you have to see, are those guys that are returning, the Blake Snells and the Tyler Glasnows, Are they close to where we've seen them, not just in their time with the Dodgers, but throughout their careers? Are they going to be reliable aces that you can say can pitch 6+ innings in a start? Because if the answer is yes, then you're probably going to be in good shape, right? I mean, Shohei starting his throwing progression, Yamamoto still pitching well, Roki Sasaki had a pretty strong start in Arizona.
Roki's been a freaking beast in the second half.
Roki's been that guy. He really has.
1.88 earned run average, almost a 28% K rate, whiff percentage of 39%, expected batting average against 209, expected slug 287.
Yeah.
That giant glove has turned him into a giant hero.
No, he's been great. He really has. And I'll say, too, the first thing that kind of popped into my mind was something that you talked about early on we started doing this show, was how good he was out of the bullpen last year in the postseason. I think the first chance that we get to see Edwin Diaz in the postseason, if he does not look right, I'm pivoting to Roki Sasaki immediately.
One playoff shot, and he's
One
done?
playoff shot, I'm going to Roki Sasaki. That's how good he was last year, and that is how much it looks like Edwin Diaz has struggled. But kind of going back to Robleski, though, I will say one thing about this, is that it is a difficult situation for some of these young pitchers in this organization, right? Because the way you can contribute is we're going to eat a lot of innings in the regular season, but it's going to come at as a cost. And I think Robleski feels good about his contribution this year, but let's be honest about this. If Glasnow and Snell were on the Giants, were on the Red Sox,
They'd be on a clock?
They would definitely be on a clock, and it would be a faster clock to get back onto the mound. The Dodgers, they have that luxury, but it's Robleski who ends up having to pitch more innings than he probably should have.
D-Mac and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. The Lakers might be emerging as the favorite to acquire Jonathan Kuminga, but Lakers fans, is this dude's toxic, damaged goods? We'll tell you next on D-Mac and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com, or text injury help to 40222. I'm not sure about this Kuminga guy. Let's get into it here on Hardwood Headlines.
Ball don't lie. Time for Hardwood Headlines with D-Mac and Reiter.
Ryan Bershinger, executive producer, has all the hoops headlines.
That's right. That's
What's up,
right.
Bersh?
And things are great. Thank you. We're going to start here with the Lakers, and they have emerged once again as the favorites to acquire Jonathan Kuminga, according to prediction markets. However, Anthony Slater gave an update on ESPN saying, quote, "The Lakers remain interested in him," league sources said, "but movement toward a deal has remained stalled for weeks."
Okay, so I'm a Kuminga guy. I've loved Kuminga forever. I thought he could have been a great player had they developed him properly when he got drafted and came out at Golden State. I'm a don't do it guy because normally I'm like, this is what Andrew Friedman would do, right? And the fact that Friedman and that front office runs, or at least is influential over the Lakers because of the ownership situation, it'll probably happen, the buy low philosophy with the high talent. But NBA is not baseball in the sense of a locker room is smaller and a few guys can impact it significantly. I don't want a guy to come into my culture who thinks he's a $30 million a year guy who's a vet minimum guy, which is what he's going to be, dude. He's going to be so pissed off wherever he goes.
That's the thing, too. You just really wonder where the mindset is, where the headspace is at. We know that he's just trying to maximize. And if you're the Cavs, Peyton Watson's a guy that's kind of worth it. He's someone that's really proven in a role. He has a lot of upside. I still think, though, for the Lakers, though, if you think that maybe there's some outside chance you can get P.J. Washington,
sure,
you
PJ
go that route
in.
And you kind of wait to see, okay, let's let the chips fall during the season. Maybe he comes available. But if you don't think that's a realistic option and you kind of have to take the risk on Kuminga, it just fits. Like Walker Kessler was a big risk, right? In a different way because the injuries. Kuminga is a risk too. So it's kind of...
It's like a cultural risk, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cultural risk.
Here's what I'll say. I don't want to cannibalize Bursch's segment here on D-Mac and Ryder because we're going to get to this name in a little bit. But I have covered and been around GMs who have invested in a guy who was really unhappy, and that guy was Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is a top 20 talented player in the last 20 years. I mean, I think he's that talented. Ben Simmons could have been Giannis. A little bit different, but like could have been. Giannis can't shoot. And he just didn't love the game enough. And so the Kuminga thing to me, it's major red flags that are burst that are just going everywhere for me.
Well, there's a lot of red flags going on with Kawhi Leonard, and the latest is today, Jake Fisher reported that Kawhi Leonard is working under the belief that the NBA's ongoing investigation will conclude before the start of training camp and that he remains on course to join the Toronto Raptors.
Oh my God! Like, by the way, how can the investigation be done? Pablo Torre just uncovered a new allegation of a new cap circumvention, garbage fake, pretend not real, supposed alleged funding operation. I mean,
It's weird.
How can the investigation almost be done? There's a new investigation that has to happen. Maybe the old investigation can be done.
Exactly. So that's kind of where I'm at, too. If he actually thinks that there's any way for this to be covered up and they can kind of move on from it, that maybe he's in negotiations with the league about something and that there's communication there. Is that the case, though?
He fired his uncle. He fired his representation. I really hope Adam Silver has the guts and the stones to take this where it needs to go and not just to place it on the people that are no longer in Kawhi's orbit, even though they probably are in his orbit socially.
Guys, sad news in the NBA. A longtime NBA coach, Don Nelson, passed away at the age of 86.
Legendary coach, legendary. I didn't know him, but people that did just absolutely sang his praises. Huge part of the history of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Players loved him. They talk about how he was just a ultimate players coach, and he was in the league for a long time as a player, kind of one of those NBA lifers. So, yeah, RIP, man. Just kind of one of those OG Warriors coaches, too, kind of before everything exploded. He was one of those guys that really kind of took them to the next level. So, yeah, Don Nelson, rest in peace, man.
Amen, brother.
Now, the aforementioned Ben Simmons wants to return to the NBA.
Aforementioned. Fancy burst.
Thank you. Marcus Spears reports, quote, several teams have expressed interest in Simmons, including one Western Conference team that offered a training camp invite.
One of the things that that Spears I like Mark a lot, that Spears points out that makes me very nervous is that J.J. Redick, the coach of the Lakers, and Simmons got along really well and have a really good relationship. Again, Simmons is remember the George W. Bush, fool me once, fool me.
You can't fool me.
Can't fool me again. Yeah. This, how many times does Ben Simmons have to cost GMs and coaches their sort of job or at least their hair before they realize this guy doesn't love the game and doesn't want to play at a high level?
Exactly, right? And that's the thing about Ben Simmons is we always see in the summertime, they'll post some workout videos and people will talk themselves into it.
Oh, my God, every time.
Every time. It's basically a time-honored tradition. It's like what we see from Ben Simmons, and you start to think, okay, the size, what he used to be defensively, right? What Colin Cowherd said, right? LeBron, you can go. We got Ben Simmons, right? That stuff. He never became that guy.
Was that a real take?
It was.
Oh, Colin. I like Colin, too, but
LeBron, you can go. Ben's here. Ben Simmons.
That's Colin Cowherd.
Yeah, exactly. You know the crazy thing, too, is Ben Simmons was actually offered a vet minimum contract by the Knicks towards the trade deadline. Didn't take that. There were some reports about that, and look what happened there. So good thing he got that ring in pro fishing because, Ben Simmons got the bag. But
what's wild about his game is he had a handle, by the way. He's such a defensive beast in this era of wings. He could have been like a wing defender version of Rudy Gobert, like a great defender, but actually you can defend guys away from the basket. He could have been and again, I'm not mad at him. Like you don't have to love everything you do for a living. I've known people that are great at things that they hate, and that seems like it's Simmons. But he wasn't able to do it when he was at the prime of his sort of athleticism. There's no chance. Lakers fans, I know you need somebody that you do not want Kuminga, you do not want Simmons, I promise.
Yeah, you do definitely don't want Ben Simmons, right? You already had Anthony Rendon. He's basically the NBA Anthony Rendon, but a little better. I mean, Rookie of the Year, 2-time All-NBA defensive first team, All-NBA third team, 3-time All-Star. Looked like he was on the trajectory to be a Hall of Famer. Now he's going to be one of those big what-if players that kind of has a really bad rap for the selfishness.
I just Anthony Rendon that segment because you're making a good point. For some reason, I go, because that's what the audience needed. Let me turn my mic off and punch myself in my face while Bursch reads the next one.
It's okay. It's okay, Bill. I said that was a Marcus Spears report. That is a Mark Spears report. Two different people. Apologies to Mark Spears. That was Mark Spears' report.
That was Mark Spears, right?
Yes. Yeah. I said Marcus. They both work for ESPN.
Man, I got you.
It's okay. Thank you.
No problem, Rick.
Last one here. The Clippers have signed Jamarian Sharp to a 2-way contract. Sharp is 7'5", which makes him the tallest active player in the NBA, surpassing Wemby.
That's a sharp observation.
Oh, got a sharp radio host right there with that one. I mean, 7'5", though. Look, the wingspan. We talked about our good friend Cameron Carr in that wingspan. Hey, he's got the attributes, right? He's got the size. It's a Clipper, so that's something. But hey, that is worth at least taking a flyer on and see if you can develop him.
Let me ask you this question. Let's say that the Lakers roster stays the same. Right, they don't add Kuminga, they don't find a wing, they don't get PJ Washington. They're kind of stuck with what they have, and they have to go with a draft pick or somebody off the street. And I'll give you Luka Doncic and Walker Kessler each play at least 68 games, right? And Austin Reeves plays most of the games. What is your optimism level? Because to me, they're 3 to 6, and I think that's fine. I think that's just fine as a start.
I'm with that. I really do. I think that they're one piece away from being a top 4 team. I really think that
in the NBA,
it's either getting Kuminga and having him realize his potential and maximizing what he could look like with Luka Doncic, a PJ Washington, something like you rather have Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, on the Lakers.
You do not like Kuminga. He's Luzinga a lot of money.
No, I like his talent. I think there's ability there. I'm really worried about a guy through his own agents or his own view that turns down opportunities. And I mean, he has to know how free agency works. And the fact that he didn't take gigs because he thought he was worth $25 million, that lack of self-awareness, I think, is an issue.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, there's red flags. There really are. I think if the Lakers were in a better position where they didn't have to be as desperate, maybe you don't take that risk. but they're going to have to roll the dice if they want any chance of competing in this conference.
It's D-Mac and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. We're going to preview the Skubal debut in about an hour. Stay tuned for that. And when Dave talks, as we get information on why in the holy hell Kyle Tucker isn't playing, coming off his first good 7-game stretch, it feels like, of the year, we will give you that information. But first, we're going to bring back one of our favorite segments. It's the LA Sports Stock Exchange. Basically, all the sports athletes out there, and whether their stock is up or down, it's very fun. And it's next on D-Mac and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. Bill Reiter, Doug McCain, D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. Look, if you've already found the show and you already know about this, and this is redundant, bear with me, because we keep each of us having people come up to us and like, I think I found the show. If you're new to the show, do us a favor, preset us on your radio 97.1 or subscribe on YouTube if that's how you're getting it at the Fan LA, at the Fan LA. Dodgers getting going against the Royals tonight. First pitch I think is 7:10, and so when Dave Roberts speaks, we'll try to get you whatever information is pertinent. Do you think Kyle Tucker has a little bit of a precautionary injury thing? I hope so. And I don't hope so because I want him injured. I'm going to be pissed off if he's not playing for no reason. So he's swinging a pretty good bat.
My sense is that when Dave's asked about it, it's probably going to be something along the lines of, this was a scheduled day off. Because we've seen that. I hope that's not the case because that would be even more disappointing. I mean, if there's something that he's banged up a little bit, did have that triple, so he was running quite a bit. I hope that's not the case because he's definitely building. I mean, this is the best he's looked since becoming a Dodger.
He really has.
You do not want to put that back in on the bench. I mean, you want him in the lineup. You want to see him continue to get big hits. And tonight would be the biggest night for him to get big hits because this is more than a regular season game tonight. This is Tarik Skubal's Dodger Stadium debut. And if Kyle Tucker would have a moment tonight, if he had a moment tonight, it would be bigger than most.
I need the Dodgers to have his back the way I'm about to have your back.
Ooh.
In responding to the chat at the Fan LA, at the Fan LA. Joseph Herrera says, kind of disappointed in D-Mac. Ever since I roasted his fit, he's been dressed in all black like a puppeteer. I think
Which fit is he roasting, though?
Look great.
Because even you roasted my fit. You were like,
No.
why are you wearing Armani's suit?
No, that's not what happened.
Okay.
Let me tell you. Want to bring this up? You want to do old stuff?
Sure.
We had to do a photo shoot together before this thing launched. And you go, let's wear suits. And I go, I don't want to wear a suit. And you go, how about we bring a suit and our other clothes, and we do both. I'm like, okay. So I showed up with a bunch of outfits, and you showed up only in a suit. And you
true.
lied.
I did
and
that,
go, I forgot my other clothes. Just kidding. And I didn't mean a suit the whole time.
You look sharp in your blue suit. You look sharp. You look good. You look great. But what outfit is he talking about? I mean, he's probably talking
Joseph,
about.
give us some updates.
Yeah, tell me which
fit.
Which fit you did not like.
Okay.
I have been wearing a lot of black on this show of late.
We are gonna do. I wear black all the time.
Yeah. Hey, man.
I had like basically 10 T-shirts from Madewell that I just wear in a loop.
I think it was like contagious. Like I woke up one day in a black T-shirt and didn't even buy it. I was like, this is just coming around Bill all the time.
I also used to wear jerseys because you said we're doing Jersey Fridays, and after the 5th Friday in a row we didn't wear a jersey, I realized you were not gonna do it.
You should be an archaeologist the way you can dig up the past. I mean, why is it always something that I said or did and not something you said or
Who needs to be
did?
an archaeologist when the monsters of the past are present to me in the moment by you? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm not gonna tip my hat, but Jersey Friday will be back when I come back from Spain. It's a tease. It's a tease.
Yeah, I know you're gonna do some stupid thing about. Okay, I don't want to know. All right, it's time for. Do we do an open for this? Yeah, I'm gonna do it, Bursch. Do you want a bed? Oh, okay. We're good at radio, America, LA. Welcome to 97.1 The Fan. It's time for the LA Sports Stock Exchange. Oh. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is one of the only things in my life that cause me anxiety. Regis would just be like messing with those fools.
Intense.
Okay. All right. So how this works, I'm going to give you a name. We're going to go to a certain point in time. We're going to go whether their stock is up or down and whether you're buying or selling. Aaron Donald now versus when the Myles Garrett trade happened.
Up. Way up.
Okay.
Surging.
I'm going to say that the stock is the same because I think we all kind of knew he was going to come back, and I'm buying that stock.
You going to buy?
I'm buying so much of it.
All of it?
I think he's going to be better than 80%. That's kind of been the threshold that you and me and Alex and Brock and D-Fish and everybody and Cody have been talking about. I think he's going to be himself. I think he's going to be the version. I think he's going to be a great version of himself.
If you look at some of the speed drills he's been doing the last couple of days, it looks almost like it's 2023. He's still fast. He's still explosive. I think from a pride standpoint, he wouldn't want to come back and be Wizards Michael Jordan, right? He wants to be close to the Aaron Donald that we saw at the peak. But I still think that you could say that the stock is up because he still had to see himself in a football helmet. He still had to be a part of what Sean McVay said. I was like, hey, Gary, that was the greatest camp we've ever had, the greatest tryout we've ever had, Gary.
Somebody let James Coe know this segment will still be going on when his show's supposed to start. I
Okay.
went really long there. That
Freeze
was
through
me.
there.
That was on me. I forgot I was supposed to go 30 seconds. Tell James he can stay home today at the James Coe Show. Okay, we're going to go quicker. I forgot, too. It's the LA Sports Stock Exchange. Ty Simpson from when he got drafted to today. Where are you at on stock? Up or down? Are you buying or selling?
I would say stock up. I would say stock up in the sense that people give him credit and the Rams credit for making that pick, allowed them to make the Myles Garrett, and the trade could lead to getting Aaron Donald back. So I think they're going to give him time, and they're going to be patient. And I think, too, they're going to see in the preseason if his stock can go up. So I'm going to say up, though. Up for Ty Simpson in general.
I'm going to say up, too. I'm going to buy that stock because he is not going to be even remotely the focal point. The storyline of Ty Simpson was interesting while it was interesting, but it's going to be about AD, and it's going to be about this team, and can they go undefeated, and Matthew Stafford. And assuming Stafford's health, he's going to get the perfect opportunity, Ty Simpson, to train under the best offensive minds in the game. Puka Nacua.
Up. He's looked great. I'm buying it, too. I don't think he's going to get that bag like I've been pushing for, just because the Rams aren't desperate to go and do that. I think there's a chance, though, that he can pass Calvin Johnson's all-time record for receiving yards in a season, so just under 2,000. So I'm going up for Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua, same stock for me. Has not gone up or down. I know how talented he is. I'm not buying that stock. I don't want that stock. Nope. It's kind of like SpaceX. Maybe it's going to work. Maybe it's not. I'm just not interested in investing my money in that. There's some
You're treating him
volatility.
like he was like an NFT or something, and he's just disappearing. I mean, I still think you got to give him a lot of credit. It's not like he's like blockbuster stock after Netflix. I mean, I think that still going to be a really good player. I'm buying.
I know. I heard your answer. Just want to do it twice? So you're doing two, I'll do one?
I'm going quick.
I like it here on Team Mac and Reiter. All right. It is stock up, stock down. It is the LA Sports Stock Exchange. Kyle Tucker.
Buying and up. I hate that he's out of the lineup, but he's looked better at the plate, more confident at the plate. Buying.
It's slightly up. It's still market. It's so low. By the way, this is like over like the last month. If you went back to when they announced he was going to be a Dodger, the stock price has crashed. I'm with you. I'm going to buy. By the way, he could have, if he has a good August, a great September, and a pretty good postseason, everything's forgiven. It doesn't matter what he did the first
It
2/3
erases
of the year.
everything. Goes from a penny stock to a blue chip stock. I agree.
Penny stock to look at you knowing the lingo.
My granddad loves stocks.
All right, Warren Buffett. Here we go. Justin. No, I like it. What are you doing?
Trying to keep it 30.
Oh, okay. Well, that's right. Justin Herbert.
I'm going to say it's the same.
And I'm selling it.
You're selling?
I don't want it.
You don't want it.
Does the stock price come with hanging out with him in Madison Beer?
It does.
Then I'm in.
Okay, you're in?
All the stock.
Okay, all the stock.
I'm selling the stock.
Hey, beer sales have gone down a little bit. Is that what you're saying? But look, Madison Beer. Okay, so look, now that you say you're selling, I'm going to buy, and I'll tell you why.
I'll sell you
I'm going to
mine.
flip it a little bit. You're going to sell me mine. He's got McDaniel. He's got something to prove. I think he's got a better offensive line, better weapons around him. I think this is the year of Justin Herbert. I think he finishes top 3 in the MVP voting. That's how confident I am in Herbert.
Mookie Betts, his stock is way down. I'm selling it at a loss. It is typewriter stock. The world has moved on. By the way, he also doesn't play well in the playoffs. Hit well in the playoffs historically. So no, I think I've seen enough. He's not the Mookie that he used to be. I am unloading all of my stock. All takers arrive. Mookie Betts stock at a discount.
Wow. So you're saying that he's just completely fallen off. I think he's
washed, dude.
he still is providing value from the shortstop position. I think offensively, he needs to be moved down the lineup. And when Will Smith comes back, I want to see Mookie batting 8th. And as a number 8 hitter, I know it pains me to say that. I think it'd be a better role. So I'll just say the same for now.
Justin Robleski, this is such a bummer. Guy got 10 outs yesterday. He's given up 17 runs in his last 20 innings pitched. That's since the All-Star game. He's given up, you noted, 9 home runs. I thought it was 9 home runs in his last 3 games, 4-4, and good at math, 1. I mean, the stock is crashing. I'm going to hold it. I'm already with the little that I have, I'm going to hold it on the off chance there's a bit of a recovery, maybe even next year. I'm just going to put it aside and hold on to the stock.
Yeah, I think that he needs a new role. So I'm not going to sell his stock. I will sell his stock as a starting pitcher. I'm going to buy his stock as a potential reliever.
All right, so Eric Lauer's tricky because you bought this stock early. I didn't. I'm just going to stay out of the Eric Lauer market. It went way up, and it's coming down pretty quickly after that last outing.
Yeah, the Eric Lauer stock is down. I'm trading it. I don't want it. He did what he did for us.
He made a good profit.
He did. Yeah, the profit was good. To me, he's like the Peloton.
You're
He's
the
like,
Oracle of Omaha?
Yeah.
You're the Oracle of Odyssey.
Oh, that works. Audacious. Listening. Audacious.
You're
Was it-
audacious. I'm listening to you.
Okay, I will say he's kind of like the Peloton, right? Like the Peloton stock went crazy during COVID. Everyone had a Peloton. It was all exciting, not me. And what happened? It kind of went down. Probably not going to help this team. I think for him, he's not an explosive reliever, so I can't see him pitching out of the bullpen. I'm gonna sell that stock.
I also didn't do the Peloton stock, and I'm going to admit now, Dom, John, Bill, I judged you guys for how much you talked about Peloton. Oh my God, stop at the Peloton.
Yeah, do what I do. Just don't work out.
Circa 2000, you look great. Dalton Rushing.
Ooh.
So
Frame this for me.
So the stock it was taken off the exchange for a moment. Now it's been brought back on. The price is stabilized, and I think that you have to. It's a futures based on this year. You have to sell. If you buy, you have to sell by the end of the year. So you're sort of talking postseason,
In that case, I'm going to sell.
or you can hold till next year.
Oh, so,
Revisit.
so if I can hold till next year, then I will do that. I'm going to go to that option. There is an outside chance that he becomes a left-handed bat off the bench. The Dodgers bench too many right-handed bats. Dalton Rushing provides some pump, from some thump, some power. So I still think that's something that it's intriguing. He provides that edge too. Dalton crushing, hitting bombs for this team off the bench would be a sight to see. So I will hold on that.
Me too. It's D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. We are going through LA athletes, and we are talking about their value in the little bit we do from time to time, the LA Sports Stock Exchange. Edwin Diaz blew 2 saves over the weekend, the Dodgers, on Friday and Saturday. They lost the Friday game. They still won the Saturday game, but no thanks to this dude. I'm actually going to buy the stock because I think it is crashing. I think the price is incredibly low. I think it's probably the lowest that it's been, lower than when the cockfighting story came out, lower than the injury, lower than the sort of the beginning when, he was sort of new. There is a world where he figures it out. He does have talent, and I like the upside of things turning around.
I do too. I think from a demeanor standpoint, a mindset standpoint, he proved that he could handle the New York media, being a Mets player. I think for the Dodgers, the stuff is still there. It really is. If you look at the stuff as a whole, velocity of the movement, he just has to dial it in. I love the entrance music that I think is going to hype everyone up. So I'm buying. I'm still buying Edwin Diaz. Pass me that sugar, man. I think Edwin Sugar Diaz is still going to have an impact for this team. I'm not selling that stock.
Tarik Skubal stock.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's a tough one, yeah.
Stock price is high.
Stock price is very high.
Is this one of those stocks where you buy and you're not sure you actually like the company, but you think it might be successful?
I think so.
They want to relocate to Detroit. We know that.
They
want
do.
to relocate their headquarters after this year to Detroit. I miss you.
It is. This is the price of it would be crazy. I mean, this is basically saying, hey, man, I'm getting a Berkshire Hathaway level stock. This is going to cost me a
pass.
bat. You're going to pass?
I'm just not going to be in the market. I mean,
Can I buy for the rest of this year and then sell after the season?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go that route.
Is that your move?
It
okay.
is.
Blake Snell.
I'm buying Blake Snell's
Starts
stock
tomorrow.
I'm buying the Snellzilla stock because he said his shoulder feels better than it has since becoming a Dodger. He was great for the Dodgers in the postseason last year. Also, he's been one of the best second-half pitchers in the history of the sport, and he's gotten a lot of time to rest, so I'll buy it.
The second half thing is real. Do you think how is it impacted by the fact he hasn't played?
He's going to have to build up, but there's still enough time. You have the rest of August. You have all of September. A 2.72 postseason ERA kind of speaks for himself. Also, last year he set a Dodgers postseason record with 41 strikeouts. Blake Snell is not scared of the moment, and he's nasty, too. So he's here to do this, too. They signed him to be that guy at this part of the year, so I'm buying.
D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I agree, and I think the price is actually, it's not low, but I think it is actually, there's value in Blake Snell because there's just so many other things going on, and it's not like he's Tyler Glass now, who is further away from a return. Snell obviously returns tomorrow. Speaking of which, Tyler, I should have hung out with you at the bar in Manhattan Beach Glass now. I missed that opportunity.
Hey, I may or may not have shown people that picture from my phone
that's
of
private.
you. I may or may
Come
not.
on.
Close friends, but I may or may not have shown
Did
that
they judge
picture.
me pretty harshly?
They were like, why didn't he go up and just say hi? It was kind of
Because he was hammered.
He was.
I was. No, I was hammered.
Oh, you were hammered.
I was like,
You were not too hammered. Do you recognize him?
I was not in my buddy's record. I'm like, where?
Hey, Tyler, come on the show, buddy.
The radio show.
Yeah.
You ever done stock up, stock up?
Stock up. Hey, I'm down with Tyler. I'm
out
buying.
on the. You are?
Yeah.
I'm just out. I'm just out of the market.
You're just completely out of the market.
I'm just gonna pass on. I think the stock's down. I think the stock's down.
You think it is?
Not significantly, but I think it is, and I'm not. I don't know what's going on here.
The good thing is that this has been a part of their plan. And we know that with the Dodgers, and he is one of those guys where on his best day, he really takes a backseat to no one when he's right. So I will be buying that stock knowing that he's here to play a role. That's to be an elite ace pitcher in the postseason.
Shohei Ohtani, stock actually a little down. I'm buying all the stock. I know you don't like Shohei Ohtani, you don't believe in him, but I do. I'm buying all the Ohtani stock.
I mean, it's like Apple having a bad month, right? I mean, the stock is still high. You still want it. But he does need to prove that he can pitch again, and the offense has been down a little bit.
He can pitch again.
He can. I know.
What do you have to prove?
We need to see.
I don't need proof. I believe.
Okay.
I don't need proof.
You're misrepresenting.
I'm not. You just said he needs to.
I did just say that.
Play it back.
Okay. I did just say that. I will say this though. For as far as the stock options go,
yeah.
Right. He needs to see if he can give them 5+ innings in the postseason as a pitcher, and with the focus on the offense, I'm very interested to see if we get the 2024 version of Shohei Ohtani, the offensive player. So he's not going to have. He's had 55 home runs, 54 home runs for the Dodgers his first 2 years here.
Yep.
Right now he's on pace to have just under 40. So will the offense pick up because he's not going to be pitching as much? That's why I will buy the stock.
So some companies are inseparable from their CEO, right? That's true for Elon Musk companies. That's true for Warren Buffett companies. That's true for I think Amazon is inseparable from Bezos. So I'm asking UCLA football, understanding that Bob Chesney is also they're interchangeable. I'm buying all the stock, by the way. I'm sold, dude.
Buying the Bruins is like buying. It's like buying Bitcoin in like 2018.
Do you have
like,
Bitcoin?
I had friends that did.
That's a no.
Yeah. Okay. But the Bitcoin movement, it was, hey, let's buy it. Let's get rich. UCLA is the sleeping giant. Bob Chesney gave that giant CPR and has awakened the sleeping giant. You've got a team that is on a quest to just be relevant again. But I think Bob Chesney said, I watched something over the weekend where he talked about, hey, we don't have goals in Westwood. We have a new standard. And we have a standard. It means you want to be great for longer than just a year. If you have goals, you want to be great for that year. If you have a standard, if you have a plan and a system, that's what he's building there. And I think there's something special brewing in Westwood.
I'm going to have to sell. Oh, they know. Easy to make it. Never mind. Okay. USC football.
Hold.
It's a really big year for Lincoln Riley. This is the year in LA.
It is. That
you
hot
live
seat
here, you better win.
Scorching
I'm
hot.
selling.
You're selling.
I'm out.
You're out.
I think he might be a charlatan.
Ooh.
I think he might be a creation of Bob Stoops and Oklahoma's consistency that he didn't care about and just left.
He might be a little bit of a fraud. He's on fraud watch.
I think he's on fraud watch.
He's on fraud watch.
Yeah.
Look,
Lincoln Fraudly. It's possible.
That works.
It's possible.
Lincoln Fraudly.
Could be wrong.
Hey, that could see that going viral by USC fans for sure, because I think a lot of them would agree with you in that, hey, this is a make or break season for Lincoln Riley. He's got to win at least, he's not even got to win 10 games. He has to get to the college football playoff. If USC is the program that they think they are, if they're that national power, if they're that all-time great program, if he does not make the college football playoff, he should be replaced. USC, all my USC friends are like, oh, we got all the money, right? We're going to flex. If you do, then you can pay for that buyout and get a coach that can get you the CFP.
Rob Pelinka.
Hold. I'm not selling my Pelinka stock yet. It's tough to win in this league. The NBA is different with the aprons.
It's tough to win in this league. It's tough to win in every league.
It is,
What is that as a...
It's tough to assemble rosters
Unlike
in the modern
NFL, where
NBA.
it's very
the
simple.
NFL, look, it's tough to win at the
man.
highest level, right? I'm willing to at least see how these moves work out.
I'm going to sell half my stock.
You're selling half. Okay.
I want a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I think he's bad.
I think overall, bad moves, good moves. The truth is, though, if Rob Pelinka doesn't exist, is Luka Doncic a Laker?
Kawhi Leonard, he's in bankruptcy court in this analogy, right? There's a hold on everything. If and when the stock becomes available again, and it will probably emerge from bankruptcy court low, I want nothing to do with it. I will take my money and I will contribute to the Arbor Society.
That one got me. I love it. Yeah,
did get you.
the thing about Kawhi Leonard is this, and I'm selling it too. I feel bad because his legacy really should be, I'm one of the great playoff players. I was the guy that was great for San Antonio. It helped Toronto win their first NBA championship. But this is going to be his legacy now. He's going to be known for load management. Anytime you say the word load management, you're going to think of Kawhi Leonard. And anytime you think of fraud and cap circumvention, it is going to be about Kawhi Leonard and the aspiration and this whole fraud. You hate to see it.
Timepieces.
Come on, you got some more?
Okay,
I love this segment.
Luka Doncic.
Buying.
I'm buying all the stock.
Buying all the stock. He looks physically as great as he ever has, bringing the team to Slovenia, having the Lakers be his franchise now with LeBron gone. Give me all the Luka stock.
I will say one hedge, and I'm not making light of this, and I'm not making light of this. He does have some serious personal stuff going on that I wish, that's awful. And
hopefully it fuels him.
Hopefully it doesn't derail him.
Yeah.
Walker Kessler, I'm buying all the Kessler stock.
I'm too.
in, dude. I'm in.
Me too. The defensive prowess that he brings. You see him on social media kind of embracing being a Laker. I mean,
know, right?
Yeah, he's loving it. He's loving it.
People need to be people to believe in them. Like there are certain. I think that for Kessler, this is the first time that he's had an organization that now places have tried to trade for him. I mean, the price the Dodgers paid, Utah has turned down in the past. But this is his first chance to have a team that believes in him and is trying to win. All right, last one, surprise one. You ready? Doug Standing in the Dodgers locker room. I'm going to answer this first. That's funny?
Yeah.
The price might be slightly down, but I'm going to buy all the stock, and here's why. Having covered sports and done the thing that you're doing, people respect honesty. And I think one of the mistakes that media members make is they think that by being sycophantic, they're going to win. Many media members who are sycophantic are doing it because they're worried about what the athletes they cover and the coaches they cover think of them. What they don't realize is they don't respect that. They don't. I learned this sort of the opposite way. I went in and covered places as a columnist and just didn't care. And a lot of the people that I became close with in sports, I was the hardest on because they respected the honesty. And then they would say to me, "I think you're totally wrong," and we'd have a talk. I'm going to buy all the D-Mac stock.
My man, appreciate that. I think I would agree with you. And I think for me, my only commitment and the thing I'm most loyal to is being truthful, keeping it 100, keeping a buck. Like I said, from here, grew up here, and always wanted a sports show that would tell the truth 100% of the time. And sometimes facts can hurt feelings. And guess what? That's not my fault.
Facts can hurt feelings. That's a great.
I'm buying all the Bill Reiter stock, too. I'm reading this awesome article about you.
Oh, my God.
And you look really sharp in your navy blue suit. I can't wait.
Okay. Yeah?
Yeah.
That feel good?
It did.
Yeah. There's an article about me out there, and it's about how much I love Doug.
I don't know about that.
It's amazing. All right. I see. So that's what that feels like.
Yeah.
The old 180.
Oh, no.
The turnaround move.
I can dish. I can't
How about
take
Burr stock selling?
Oh.
Just kidding. I'm buying the Burr stock. Selling. D-Mac, no, I'm just kidding. You're not buying. You're not even answering.
I'm buying all the Burr stock.
I already own all of it.
You own it?
I will never sell it.
Yeah.
I'm a believer.
You can't buy it. I bought it first.
We bought it together.
When it was an IPO.
When it was an IPO?
Yep.
Aaron Donald was the story of Rams training camp, even though he wasn't there. Asterisk. We're going to get into that and what we think happens next as we wait for his announcement next on D-Mac and Reiter. Welcome back into the show. D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. This is going to make me mad. This makes me mad. I think it's going to make you mad. We talked earlier that Kyle Tucker is not in the lineup, despite the fact over the last 7 games since the Skubal trade, even though the Dodgers are 1-6 over that span, he has been, Tucker, awesome offensively. Dave Roberts is telling us now, telling the media at Dodger Stadium, that Kyle Tucker is out today, out of the lineup, because it's a scheduled day off and allowed Miggy Rowe to get a start. Teoscar will be off tomorrow. Adjust your plans, dude. Let him bring some of that confidence into Dodger. He basically has the same batting average at Dodger Stadium that you have and I have.
Yeah,
He's
exactly,
been
right?
awful there, dude.
You can't play these gymnastics with the lineup, right? You can't just move everything around when he's been your best hitter. And you're a team that's lost 8 of their last 9, 15 of 24, 5 of 6. You are going through the worst stretch of your season, and you're keeping your hottest hitter out of the lineup, right? That's not controversial, right? Just play Kyle Tucker. Keep him in the lineup, because guess what? When he does play tomorrow, if he does struggle, you're going to think back and say, maybe we should have just continued the momentum. Momentum is real in sports, and Kyle Tucker looks like he did turn the corner, and the first thing they do, it's El Bencho just for a scheduled rest day.
It's so frustrating, dude.
He's 29. He's 29 years old.
It's so frustrating.
At the peak of his powers is what he should be, right? He should be in the lineup every day carrying, while all these other guys have played so much baseball. They're getting a little older. He's the shot of youth, and we're giving him the spa day. I hate this execution.
Mario Lanververde says Tucker sucks at home anyways. Mario, that's why we're frustrated, because he's coming off a really good stretch. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think he's hitting 375 and whatever. He's been really good his last 7 games. And our hope, Mario, and everyone out there, is that he would bring some of that confidence, some of that swagger into Dodger Stadium. Because if he has a series against, and also it's not as if the Royals are a force of nature on any level, particularly pitching. If the guy has a really good series, right? If he goes, I'm just making this up, if he goes 5 for 12, hits a couple doubles, hits a home run, maybe something clicks. The loneliest place on earth, guys will tell you, is the plate when you're not hitting well. And so to give him maybe it doesn't work, but I'd rather he have a chance to get it right and risk going 0 for 4. Who cares? Invest in the guy you spent $60 million on.
And another thing, too, Bill, is when was this decision made? Was this decision made weeks ago, months ago, days ago, hours ago?
The algorithm
right?
spit it out 3 days ago.
And that's kind of how it feels to me, is that, okay, we've already made this decision. We know we're process-oriented. We know we're going to stick to our plan. But I think this is a unique opportunity to say, hey, this is a guy that in Arizona, their last series, he had the brightest spot offensively. He's the guy that literally hit a go-ahead home run against the Diamondbacks. He also scored the winning run when they needed it the most. He's the guy who crossed home plate. So I think if I'm Kyle Tucker, I want to be in the lineup badly. And for the Dodgers, if they go out there and lay an egg offensively, you're going to kind of think it's a decision. And if he struggles for the rest of this week, you're going to kind of point to the fact that, hey, it looks like we just slammed the brakes when he's really starting to get going.
We were just sort of shooting the breeze in the break. And by the way, if you're listening on the FM, it's 97.1. Please put it in the preset. If you want to hang out with us on YouTube and watch the show at The Fan LA, you can actually watch us in the breaks. There's no volume. My wife is weirdly mesmerized by it. She keeps trying to read do the rip leading thing.
Yeah. John Boy effect.
We were just talking about this. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Shohei in the postseason to have a signature postseason series, and we both think he's capable of doing that. But that pressure ramps up in a significant way if you still have Mookie playing poorly, if Teo is still struggling, especially with the fastball, which should be his bread and butter, if Kyle Tucker is not playing like a $60 million guy, but we've seen this at Dodger Stadium, certainly like a $10 million guy. Anything you can do to ramp any of these guys up in an offense that is the second worst in the National League in terms of run production over the last 30 days. And we have all these fancy stats, but we promise the Dodgers offense has been putrid going back to early July. Anything to get that going, significant. And maybe more importantly, anything to just provide a little relief offensively for the guys that are swinging a pretty good bat is really important tactically for the Dodgers between now and October. And Kyle Tucker, if you sort of are going to one guy who sucks right now offensively who could be really great. Kyle Tucker might be if we did like a draft of, I think I'd pick Kyle Tucker, but you have to manage him properly. And whether it's a Kyle Tucker issue or a Dodgers managing him issue, it's not working. Why you wouldn't adjust your plan and let him continue to ride this momentum is just beyond me, dude. I find it really... when people that are smarter than me outthink themselves, it drives me crazy.
Yeah, this is classic paralysis by analysis type of thinking, right? Is that, hey, we are so focused on putting the best team together for the postseason, you kind of lose sight potentially of the games that are right in front of you. And he's been someone that really, you can make the case, is the only guy consistently hitting. Andy Paz has had some moments, Shohei's had some moments, but Tommy Edmonds cooled off, Max Muncy's cooled off, Teo and Mookie have had season-long slumps. Why not ride the hot hand and give him some confidence in saying, hey, we know now that you can hit very well on the road. You've proven that. You're a 3-time All-Star. You've been one of the better hitters in this league over the last 5-6 years. What you have not proved is that you can hit well at home. And guess what, Bill? They take on the Brewers for a 4-game set, a team that swept them last year. What do you do when you need some confidence? You beat up on a slumping team. And I would like to see Kyle Tucker, and yes, you have a lefty on the mound, but he's good against lefties, better against lefties this year. I would like to give him 3 games against the Kansas City Royals, a last-place team, to have that production, get that confidence up. This was an opening to use Kyle Tucker and to do what he does best, and that is hit at a high level.
You can't send Kyle Tucker to the minors to get his confidence back, but when the minors come to you at a major league ballpark, which is what the Royals are sometimes, take advantage of it. That felt like really unfair against the Royals.
Yeah, I know.
It was a little low.
That was pretty bad. That was they deserve it, but
I'm taking my anger out on the Royals when I should direct it at the Brain Trust. Okay. Deep breath here on DMAC and Reiter. Nothing, I don't know why, nothing makes me more irrationally angry about a sports thing than baseball. It is the sport that gets me the most weirdly angry about just like random sports stuff.
That's how it's designed, right? It's designed to make you pull your hair out and be frustrated just because there's so many games, so many opportunities for players and pitchers to fail, right? Baseball is the game of failure, right? I mean, you fail 7 out of 10 times and you're still an elite player. I think this is frustrating just because this is something we could point directly to that you can say is probably from a managerial standpoint, a roster standpoint, just not the best thing for the Dodgers today. And I know that a lot of people will point to the fact that they just won back-to-back World Series by following their process. But I just want to see Kyle Tucker have success. I really do. I want to see Kyle Tucker hit. It's fun to watch Tucker when he's right. I think we've lost sight of that too. I think we've lost sight of the fact that Tucker should be a guy where we don't think, oh, wow, he got a single today. That's great. No, we should be looking for 3 for 4 nights, 2 doubles and a home run, right? He should be going off.
Here's the other thing, and this is one of the sort of, it's a paradox in what we do for a living. I do think DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. And obviously I've had some disagreements with people in the market and colleagues, whatever. It's fine. Everybody is entitled to their philosophy. My philosophy, I think you share, I know you share it, is that our job is to be critical when criticism is warranted. And our job is to is to not pull punches, right? We are talking about sports. We're talking about grown men trying to score runs, trying to score points. And I'm not criticizing that because we love it and we talk about it for a living. We don't do it for a living. It doesn't mean just because you're willing to be critical, it doesn't mean you don't want guys to be successful. I feel bad for Kyle Tucker. I mean, first and foremost, the guy's been awful. He has to play better. That's the deal. But I want him to succeed. I want him to play well. It would be, just from a human level and a Dodgers level, it would be great if the poor guy became an absolute beast down the stretch. And anything that gets in what you and I say actually does not impact whether Kyle Tucker is going to play well. What Dave Roberts in the front office of the Dodgers do does have an impact. And small though this seems, this feels like putting a potential hurdle up where it's just unnecessary, where your process is getting in the way of Kyle Tucker. And look, the Dodgers are smarter at baseball than you, me, everybody in America combined. But if the Dodgers anticipated that Kyle Tucker was going to perform this way, they wouldn't have given him $60 million and brought him in. So your process doesn't always work. Your thinking and approach sometimes meets reality that you didn't expect. It's not the Dodgers' fault, right? It's process over results, but the results haven't been there. Adjust your process. You don't need to schedule a day off. Give this guy, let the psychology of baseball that Dave Roberts has said does matter in the playoffs in a way it does in the regular season. let it just rule the day some random moment in August, because while the math may be the math, it isn't for Kyle Tucker. He is a struggling baseball player who's not looking at this regular season like a math equation. He's feeling it in a way that's obviously impacting him, and you got to give him every chance, even if you have to adjust your approach, Dodgers, to try and figure it out, because he's been bad, and while it's his fault, he needs something new to get out of this, what now is a many months rut.
He does, and this was a great night and a great spot for him to go out there and feast on bad competition. And I think, too, Bill, who's in right field tonight? It's Teoscar Hernandez. He was atrocious as an outfielder in right field last year. Kyle Tucker has had his ups and downs with the glove, but still, he is a Gold Glove Award-winning outfielder. So, yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, it's so Dodger. This is so Los Angeles Dodger. It's like, we're the smartest guys in the room, which they are. But this one, I think you can push back on it, knowing this team needs offense, this team needs wins. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I want to see Kyle Tucker out there and hitting and performing well, right?
I did too. D-Mac and Reiter, New 97.1, the fan, the voice of LA Sports. Aaron Donald has been the story of the Rams camp, and he will be the primary story of the NFL Report next here on D-Mac and Reiter. Welcome back into the show. It's D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. The latest on Aaron Donald starts right now in the NFL Report.
It's time for the latest headlines on and off the gridiron. It's D-Mac and Reiter's NFL Report.
What up, Bursch?
Oh, what's up, guys? Yes, the biggest thing in the NFL, or at least for us here in LA, is that the Rams officially closed training camp. But the biggest story of training camp has been Aaron Donald. And most notably, on Friday, not at Rams training camp, but rather at UCLA, Aaron Donald was seen working out. And a handful of young fans happened to chase down Aaron Donald, and they had this interaction.
Aaron Donald, I thought you were at the practice. Wait, are you retiring? Aaron Donald, are you going back to the Rams?
I don't know yet. We're going to see.
Come on, bro.
Come on, bro. That young man speaks for an entire region.
He does. I mean, come on now. Like, just announce already. Announce already. I don't know if they're just trying to get the entire announcement prepped and just have a press conference or whatever it may be, but this is so inevitable. This is so inevitable. Just allow it to happen. Allow the NFL fans across the world to have a meltdown. The Rams fans are going to just absolutely be jumping for joy. This is going to be extremely special, but let's be honest. It's not even 99%. It's 100%, right?
Whose house?
Whose house? It's the Rams' house. It's the fans' house, baby.
Well,
that silence just was a dagger to my heart and soul.
Thanks, Doug. So at training camp,
hate all of you guys.
At training camp, Sean McVay discussed Aaron Donald's workout, and this comes to us courtesy of our own correspondent, Lindsay Polaris.
It was really, more for him to kind of just continue to do the things that I've kind of shared with you guys, and so he looked great, and he still continued to go through his process. No new news on that front. We've had a plan in place for a while, like I've kind of told you guys, and the workout was one of those things. And really, it was kind of semantical to be able to use the equipment and things like that to fall under the legalities of CBA. And so he's very deliberate and intentional about what this looks like. I'm careful to say, things are going in the right direction. He's feeling good, but we're not to where we are able to say whether or not he is or isn't ready to do it. But he's doing great, and he looked outstanding, as I think all of us would expect.
Obviously, Sean McVay knows he's coming back. Do you think he knows the date?
Probably. He probably does. I mean, behind closed doors, they probably have a whole rollout and what this means, because this is going to be the biggest story in sports for 3 or 4 days. I mean, you're talking about the Super Bowl favorites that just traded, that just added, just upgraded from Jared Verse to Myles Garrett, the best defensive player in the NFL, arguably the greatest player in the sport, and you get Aaron Donald, the best player in Rams franchise history, to join him. Hey, even 80% of Aaron Donald would be 100% of most defensive tackles. I don't think we're going to get that. I think the guy has too much pride. His work ethic is too strong. His body just physically is such a freak. He's going to come back, and he's going to be Aaron Donald, and it's going to be terrorizing and just absolutely insane to think that they're going to be adding a player of his magnitude. Can't believe it.
Now, for those of us watching on YouTube, we have here's footage of Aaron Donald working out. And
for those on the radio, you're just out of luck.
If you're on the radio, guess what? You'll also get to hear this audio, which was from Myles Garrett when he spoke at camp about what he admires about Aaron Donald.
The way in which he practiced his craft. You've seen the videos in which he's going 100%. He's doing the knife. He's doing the pass training. He's working on his feet. His footwork is impeccable, but he also has get off that's similar to an end. And he has a great feel for the game. His intuition on when he should throw a move, when he should get in phase and out of phase as far as run blocks or when he should shed a guy. And he just had an outstanding feel for the game as well as being a freak athletically.
I'm just gonna make a mental note that Myles Garrett prefers football questions.
Hey, he really does. In some ways, I don't want to say I feel bad for Myles Garrett, but just imagine if you're Myles Garrett, they're going to add Aaron Donald, and he might be the second best defensive player on his own team.
I think he'll welcome it.
I think he will too, but just from an optics standpoint, it's kind of wild to think how many stars they have, and he's going to be asked about this, and this is really his prime. But I think you're right, though. Someone like Myles Garrett, he just wants to win. He already has accomplished everything individually, and he knows that this has a chance to be special. I mean, this is going to potentially go down. Of course, a lot's to happen. Got to stay healthy. But this could go down as the best duo for any defense we've ever seen, and he's a big reason why. And also, the workload for Myles Garrett, too. Life's going to be easier for Myles Garrett because of Aaron Donald, and life's going to be easy for Aaron Donald because of Myles Garrett. And also, Myles Garrett, you are the reason why Aaron Donald is coming back. I mean, got to give him all the love. The greatest of Myles Garrett is what brought Aaron Donald potentially back. What?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Chris Shula, the Rams defensive coordinator, gave this answer when he was asked if current defensive linemen are thinking about what Aaron Donald's return could mean for their job security.
We're just such a daily, like I always just tell all the guys, like, last thing you want to do if you're in those positions is just count numbers at positions or things like that. All you're trying to do is just get better. If you play good football here, things have a way of working out, where if you play good football for us, we find a way to kind of keep you around and get you on the field.
I mean, that is a great question.
Really?
Whoever asked that, like, that takes, yeah. Hey, man, you could get fired with those guys. That helped.
I know, right? It's kind of a harsh reality, but that's business. That's the business of the NFL. And when he comes back, everyone's expectations are going to change. Totally. What does this look?
Well, I'm just listening to you talk on D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97 on The Fan, the voice of LA Sports.
One more piece of sound here on Aaron Donald. Now, this is Sean Merriman, of course, a longtime Chargers linebacker, and he spoke with TMZ Sports and gave his thoughts on Aaron Donald.
He's such a dominant player. If he comes back and be 80% of what he was, he's still top 3 player in the NFL. That's how great of a player he was. Him and Myles Garrett, man, I mean, they're going to have a field day, and teams should be worried.
I mean, what do you do if you're an offensive coordinator and you have to scheme against both of these guys?
Pray. I mean, really, you just got to find a way to, yeah, there you go. You just got to hope for the best. And for someone like Sean Merriman to say something like that, someone that was so disruptive at his peak, I mean, I think that's so wild about this is just the fact that you're getting Aaron Donald back to a great situation. And yes, the fact that it took a roster like this to kind of bring him out of retirement is a whole other conversation. But we have not seen, like, the best player that Aaron Donald has played with defensively on the line is probably Von Miller. Myles Garrett is light years better than what Von Miller was when he came to the Rams.
Another level.
We might be unlocking a different – the Rams have 2 final bosses now on their same defensive line. And here's the thing. If the speed's still there, if the strength's still there, if he can stay healthy, this version of Aaron Donald is going to be something we haven't seen before. I mean, 2018, the 20-plus sacks was great, but I would love to see what Aaron Donald looks like when he doesn't have to be the central focus every single play because of how good Myles Garrett is.
We have seen ample competitive football teams and a few Super Bowl level teams in the last 10 years who could win, where one side of the ball could win you a game, where the offense could win you a game despite the defense, or the defense could win you a game despite the offense not being particularly impressive. There aren't many teams I can remember where you could take either the offense or the defense of this football team, pair them with a bad version of the other side of the football, and I'm like, yeah, that team's winning more games than they're losing this year. But especially if Aaron Donald comes back, this Rams team can beat most teams in the NFL with just the offense or just the defense on the right day.
Elite on both sides of the ball.
Totally
superstars
elite.
On both sides of the ball.
Potentially top 2 or 3 on both sides of the ball.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the talent that the Rams have is all-time great. I mean, there is a world where you talk about the 2026 Rams as the best team in the history of the NFL. That's not hyperbole. That's just a fact. It's going to be wild.
Hyperbole is a good word.
Hyperbole.
It's funny. It's funny.
Bill Wall was great at
it. Some more Rams stories here.
You don't like the silence, do you?
I like it. I'm here for it. Moment of silence for the segment.
So Sean McVay told the media yesterday that Ty Simpson will definitely play in the preseason, but hasn't decided yet if Stetson Bennett will play.
So I'm actually, I am really excited. I can I admit something to you? I hate preseason football. I think it's stupid, and I just want to get to the games that matter. I am very much looking forward to Ty Simpson playing.
Yeah, it's a major storyline. And I think that everyone talking about, okay, Ty Simpson and development and being around Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay, That doesn't matter to the Rams team right now. They're looking to raise their floor and have the most competent backup quarterback in the event that Sean McVay has to go to another QB1, that Matthew Stafford has to miss any time, any snap. So that's what this is all about. It's not about the development. Yes, the development comes with this, but they're looking for the best backup quarterback that they can find. Jimmy Garoppolo was a steady force for the Rams for the last couple of years. Now they're going to be leaning on a young quarterback, and it's going to be very important to see what Ty Simpson can do in preseason. I mean, it's a great storyline. It's going to be huge.
I agree. Is that it, Bursch? You can try to fit one more in.
That's it.
Okay. Great. Bursch, give yourself a cheer.
I'm laughing.
Doug will do it.
Yeah.
You produced the hell out of that. D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. If you're watching on the stream at the Fan LA, at the Fan LA, slam that like button, push that bell subscribe button, keep hanging out with us, support the show. We're so glad you found us, and we promise you this: we are going to do nothing but talk local sports on this show, on this station, including previewing Skubal's debut at Dodger Stadium next on D-Mac and Reiter. All right, what up? Welcome back into the show. D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That is calldowntown.com. You can also text injury help to 40222. Tarik Skubal, his debut at Dodger Stadium, home debut, coming up in about 2 hours and 6 minutes, and we will let you know what that looks like tomorrow, and we'll preview it over the next 20, 30, 40 minutes. This is your home for all things Los Angeles sports on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, including the injury report, which is brought to you by Ozeron Law, the injured worker hotline. Shohei Ohtani is currently playing catch at the stadium, D-Mac, making me happy and you frustrated.
Makes me very happy. Makes me very happy. It does.
Did I get it wrong?
You did. On that one, I will say.
Okay.
Because I want to see Shohei Ohtani pitch again this season, and for him to ramp up, get that throwing progression going, we need to see him on the mound. We need to see him facing live hitters to really start to get excited about where this is going to go. Because with Shohei, it's always interesting because he hasn't missed a significant amount of time to where it's a complete reset like a Tyler Glasnow or a Blake Snell, but this is someone that has to always rehab and get right at the big league level, right? Because you're still using him as a hitter. It's not like you can send him down for a couple tune-up innings or starts, so he's got to get this thing going pretty quickly here if he's going to go 4+ innings in the postseason, so very critical for Shohei.
Do you think there's a world where Roki Sasaki is starting in the playoffs at all?
The world would be if you lose a Glasnow or a Shohei, I think that he's the next man up. I would take Roki over Robo. I would take Roki over Sheehan. You got Gavin Stone, who's started to make some starts down at the minor league level, who's looked really good. But our friend River Ryan, he's no longer in the organization anymore. There's no real natural starting pitches that you would turn to. And I think Roki Sasaki, if you got news that he was starting, you could see a phenom born. Like, you could see something
I'm in.
incredible because of the talent that he has.
I mean, do you think it was just do you think, to what degree, it's D-Mac and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, and we're going to get back to, well, let me just finish, I guess, this injury report really quickly. Speaking of Tyler Glasnow, Dave Roberts said that he would hopefully need 3 more rehab outings before making a return. So that's the timeline. So 2 or 3 weeks?
2 or 3 weeks away,
2.5 weeks, yep.
And you said he's got to ramp up, has to build up. He had to feel pretty. I think the last time he was clocking in at 95.9 miles per hour on his fastball, so you want to see that go up just a tick to feel good about the fastball velocity. But for him, it's just how is he coming in and out of starts, right? How is he waking up the next day? How does the arm feel? Because he's been through this before. This is nothing new to Tyler Glasnow, just like it wasn't new to Blake Snell. But, hey, we are late in the season, and I will say this. I will believe it when I see it for Tyler Glasnow. And this is not disparaging towards his injury history, but the truth is this is his 3rd year with the Dodgers, right? First year was not able to pitch in the postseason. Second year he was. So we don't have a long track record of him being dependable and available in the postseason. So we're going to need to see it.
Very big name for you. I know a significant missing piece of the puzzle is Will Smith, and Dave Roberts said this will be a big week for him. He should take on-field BP this week.
That's huge. It's massive.
Really
he's continued to ramp up baseball activities, throwing, hitting. I mean, I think for Will Smith, the question I have is how much of this is erring on the side of caution? How much of this is saying, okay, he's been out for an extended amount of time because he caught so much last year in the postseason. He's caught so much in the last couple of years. Let's take full advantage of this, get him the extra rest, and then get him back in there for the stretch run because they miss not only his bat, but they also miss him behind the dish.
D-Mac and Reiter, the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. That's for you, Jeff. Wink, wink. What, I like all the jokes within the jokes. More important to you, you can pick one. I know this isn't the way the world works. I'm just curious. Ohtani the pitcher, Will Smith. Just plain. What's more important?
Will Smith with a bullet. I mean, really,
with
100%.
A bullet.
Yeah, for sure. Because they won the World Series, Bill, in 2024 without Shohei Ohtani as a pitcher.
You first named me there.
Did I?
Yeah, I liked it.
Bill Reiter.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Government name went full on.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. You got Skubal. You got Glasnow. You got Snell. You got Yamamoto. You need 4 starters in the postseason. So Shohei Ohtani, really, to me, as a starter, he's a luxury. He's a luxury. Anything.
Do you even like him as a pitcher?
I love him as a pitcher.
He has a sub 2 earned run average this year.
He's great.
He has a sub 1 whip.
He's great.
When he
really
pitches,
is.
he's one of the 2 or 3 best pitchers in baseball.
I agree with that, but
Just checking.
and we've talked about it on this show a couple different times. The gap between Shohei Ohtani, the hitter, when he's at his very best, and the Dodgers' second best hitter is a wide gap.
I've never heard this.
So yeah, him as a pitcher isn't that.
Oh,
so
Brian
that's
gave me a
why.
look.
That's my case.
Don't do that, Bill.
That's my case.
It's a good case. I'm not mad at you. I'm just more. And by the way,
What's the perfect?
I miss arguing with you about Shohei, even though you got it right, sort of. It's really interesting.
But I will say this though. So selfishly, my brain goes in 2 different directions, and that is that when Shohei Ohtani pitches at a dominant level, he is the unicorn. He is doing things that Aaron Judge can't do, and it makes it to where he has to do less offensively to be able to win that NLCS and win that World Series MVP. So selfishly, in a perfect world, if you could guarantee me Shohei Ohtani's health in 5-6 innings and he's explosive out there and getting double-digit strikeouts, yeah, when he's right there with Skubal and Yama and Snell and Glass now. But I think that part of the reason why you traded for Skubal was to take less pressure off of Shohei Ohtani, knowing you don't necessarily 100% need him in the postseason for this team to win.
Obviously, speaking of Tarik Skubal, it is his Dodgers home debut. He's pitching at Dodger Stadium against the Royals in exactly 2 hours. And Dave Roberts said this about that moment.
He's as different as anyone I've ever been around in this short period of time. He's special in every way. He's on a mission too. Very excited to get to know him more and be around him, watch him compete, see what makes him tick. But, you drop a pitcher, a teammate, it's special. He's built differently. The mind, the body, the focus, the humility, the teammate, the willingness to serve, to help. He puts himself out there. He's different than any player I've been around, really. And this is, again, it's a small sample, but I've dug on him. I got a pretty good gut. This guy is something like I've never seen.
I support you 100%. I'm on your side.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that is at all influenced by your accurate frustration that many Dodgers fans agree with, where you were like, basically on Friday, bro, stop talking about your ex, the Tigers, and focus on this team?
I mean, he did go on and on there,
He
right?
really did.
And when he goes on and
I
on...
looked at Bursch like, is this clip about D-Mac?
I speak fluent Dave Roberts.
Okay, you do.
And my read on that is he probably has an understanding about where Tarik Skubal's coming from and how sensitive the topic is about him speaking so glowingly about his former team and saying things like, I would love to finish my career. I mean, why else would he bring up him as a teammate, right? He talked about him as a teammate, how he's fitting in. Look, I don't care. I mean, I don't want to see this team win. And I think if you're Dave Roberts, yeah, the way he was talking about Tarik Skubal there, sounds like he loves Tarik Skubal more than Tarik Skubal loves Detroit.
Here's what
right?
No one loves anything on earth more than Tarik Skubal told us after he was a Dodger.
Get you someone that loves you like Tarik Skubal loves Detroit.
Here's my armchair psychology take here on D-Mac and Reiter Jeff on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. To me, Dave Roberts heard Tarik Skubal the way you did, saw it as a sort of weird, and realized that this guy needs to feel love, that Tarik Skubal needs to feel love, needs to feel him. And so he's just, because Dave is a great man manager, he's showering this guy with love. I'm not calling Tarik Skubal needy. I'm not saying he's insecure. I'm just saying that, like, maybe this is Dave Roberts understanding quickly this player needs to be told these things publicly to get him to stop looking at, the old meme where the guy looks behind him at the other girl and he's with his girlfriend? No, man, turn that head around.
Yeah.
You're with a good-looking lady called the LA Dodgers.
Holding in the hands, yeah, for
Hold
sure.
the hands.
That is it.
That meme.
And I think that Dave truly understands, too, that you want to create this environment for Skubal where, as you point out, he feels supported and that this is not something that lingers, because they learned a lot when they got Max Scherzer. And the whole Max Scherzer drama between how it was handled and the...
Were you covering that team then?
I was. And back when Max Scherzer was pitching for this team, there was a debate as to Max Scherzer wanted to pitch more, and then the Dodgers wanted to pitch less. And then when they wanted him to pitch more, he did want to pitch less in the postseason. So there was this push and pull between Max Scherzer and the Dodgers. I think Tarik Skubal, being a younger pitcher, a guy that I think has a better, higher chance of maybe going back with the Dodgers versus Scherzer. I think that they're probably going to treat a little differently. But yeah, look, make no mistake about it. Like, the streets are talking. Like, the streets are talking about Tarik Skubal and some of those comments. I think Dodgers fans just want to see a really good start tonight and have that first big ovation from that big electric Dodger Stadium crowd on a bobblehead night, get back in the win column, and start to really get excited about the fact that let's not lose sight of the fact that they made the biggest deal at the deadline, and tonight should be another way of celebrating that.
You are DMAC of DMAC and Reiter, and I have a question for you. I'm the writer half of that here on the United 7-1, the fan, the voice of LA Sports. The reason I asked if you covered that team, I thought you did, but I wanted to ask, I wanted to make sure. To what degree, if any, did Scherzer's disconnect with what the Dodgers wanted of him in those moments, how did it impact, if at all, the vibe in the clubhouse with his teammates?
I mean, Max Scherzer is someone that I think is always going to be treated with a different level of, hey, we respect you're kind of that psychopath that goes about what you do. But there was a moment with Max Scherzer where he was coming into the Dodgers dugout after a half of an inning, and Dave Roberts slapped him on the butt, right? Whoosh. And Max Scherzer looked back and said, "Don't effing touch me." Right?
No.
Yeah. And there was
I don't know the story.
it was a big deal. It was a big deal at the time where people were like, wow,
I wasn't locked in at that point.
That's pretty edgy, right? Max Scherzer, and then Dave Roberts kind of jokes about it, and he still jokes about the fact that you just do not touch Max Scherzer. You do not put your hands on him.
Who's the person in our building do you think has the similar, like the most, like, don't, if you're playing basketball, no butt slap?
In this building?
Yeah, on our colleagues, other than Bursch.
I would say, don't touch me. I don't know. Maybe you? You don't like to be touched.
No, what are you talking about? Hug it out.
Yeah, you're
right
kind
now.
of a germaphobe.
I'll come over.
Right?
No, well, I mean, like I'm not trying to drink from your Otani water bottle, but I'll hug it out with you, bro. I'll get in there. I'll get there for you know what I'm saying? We'll man hug it.
Yeah.
I'll hug you right now, bro.
I'm big on that. When I play pickup basketball, and my teammates I just met, I'll be like, good shot, baby. Well, and I'll give.
You're a butt slapper.
I'm a butt slapper. I am.
By the way, if I had asked the opposite question, who's slapping some butts? You're number one on the.
Hey, who's your answer to that question?
Who's the person that wants to be touched the least?
Yeah, touch the least.
Like who doesn't? Who's got a little Scherzer in him? I'm gonna go. Maybe Raj Groves.
Oh, Raj.
Yeah.
Really?
No, he's a hugger actually. He's an affectionate guy.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Definitely not Mitchell. Every time I see Mitchell, I give him a good long dap.
I'm gonna go Shea.
You go Shea?
Yeah.
Really?
Anyone that calls themselves the Sultan of Talking or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Nick, I think Nick, the one of the producers on the second show, he looks pretty hardcore.
You think he might?
Yeah. He might be like a Max Scherzer guy.
Him and Cody kind of came to mind.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't think Defense is like that, but he'd be like that with you and me.
No, I think
like you two can't.
I think Cody'd be cool with it as long as it's not you. I think.
No.
I think that's how it would be.
Oh, that's not. No, that's not cool, bro.
No, just
why you cross the lines, man?
I'm not what?
Why you cross the lines?
You're a perpetual line crosser.
No, I live on the line.
Yeah,
I live on the line.
That's a good question, though.
Here's another line that's been a problem. It's the score line for the Dodgers. They have, as people know, they've lost 8 of 9. They've lost 15 of 24. They're 1-6 since the Skubal trade. The Tigers, by the way, 5-2, third best record in baseball since they traded Skubal. That is lies, damn lies, and statistics, Mr. Mark Twain. We understand, but it's still kind of fun to talk about. And we've given all the stats throughout the show how bad the Dodgers' offense have been. Here's one. Over the last 30 games, 30 games is not a small sample size. The Dodgers have scored 88 runs. That is the second fewest in the National League. It has been brutal. And so, leading up to the game today, back home at Dodger Stadium, obviously Tarik Skubal's second start for the Dodgers. He pitched well in his debut in Chicago. 6 innings pitched, I think, in 2 earned runs. He wasn't lights out, but he was very, very, by the standards of Skubal, he was fine, right? Massive expectations, and the Dodgers could use some wins. And Dave Roberts, moments ago, discussed if the Dodgers are playing right now with enough urgency.
It's like we're a wild card team right now, and we got to get going and play with urgency. And I think that we got to make sure we don't get ahead of the playoff situation and talk about winning now, winning today, and winning tomorrow. And so I think that's the thing that we need to get to, and then deal with whatever result. But I think that's part of we're going to be okay and we're good. That's not good enough. And clearly it's not, given how we've played over the last month. So, and we put ourselves in this position, but a lot of talent, But I think that across the board, we need to play with more urgency.
I'm with him, man. And you kind of correct me here, D-Mac, if this is the wrong way to think about it. Of course, they need to win games. And of course, you want the bye, and you're battling with Milwaukee and with Atlanta for that. The wins are important. I think it's just as important to see the offense work. Because 30 games, and really some of these sort of deep dive stats, weighted runs created plus, and some of the other things you talk about a lot, if you go all the way back to July 1st, the Dodgers are among the worst offenses in baseball. So you're talking, what are we at today? Today's the 10th? You're approaching a month and a half. If you continue to struggle for another month, another 3 weeks, you're basically talking about a team that's one of the worst offensive teams in baseball in the second half. You cannot go into the postseason, whatever the gifts you have as a baseball team, if your offense is bad. I want to just start seeing the Dodgers score some freaking runs, man.
Yeah, the runs have been very hard to come by, and you're just not seeing the slug. You're not seeing them execute with runners in scoring position. You're not seeing them just take their walks and cashing in on it. And I think that this is something that's been contagious. We know that to be the case for this team, that, hey, either it's a boom or bust style offense. Either you leave the yard, hit a couple multi-run home runs, and you feel good about your chance of winning. But when this team goes through these slumps, when they go through these slides, they tend to linger. And I think for the Dodgers, it's very interesting to hear, Bill, Dave Roberts say, oh, we're a wild card team right now. Oh, we need to win some games right now. And then, meanwhile, you leave your best hitter out of the lineup. So which is it? Is there really a sense of urgency? Because if the question is, are they going to perform with a sense of urgency, I think the answer to that is, well, clearly not, just because your best hitter is not in the lineup. Your hottest hitter, and yes, Shohei can go off, and any of these guys can go off, but over the last week, their most consistent hitter has been Kyle Tucker, and he's not in the lineup. So I don't want to hear anything about urgency. I think they're just following their plan.
100% absolutely agree. How do you get a team to have urgency as a group? Because the other thing about a baseball team is it's not a basketball team where you can go to 2 or 3 guys, right? You can go to LeBron and he can carry the team by himself. It's you have a different guy taking the mound every single day. Shohei Ohtani can only hit 1 out of every 9 times when he's in the lineup. How does a Dave Roberts instill a sense of urgency when there's a lot of guys that have to, like I haven't seen the Odyssey yet, where everyone's like rowing in the same direction. It's like row.
Yeah,
easier said than done to get everyone to row with the same level of sort of frenetic, frantic focus.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like a basketball player. You just need to see one go in, right? And then hopefully you see that one go in, and then you get on a hot streak and you start to shoot the lights out. I think for the Dodgers, it's, can we get this top of the lineup to get a big lead, to have a rally? Like I mentioned, they have not put together these rallies like we've seen. Over the weekend, they did not score more than 1 run in any inning.
Can I deep dive something on you? Can I go kind of a really weird deep dive baseball place here on D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.1, the Fan, the voice of LA Sports? And you're right. You talk all the time about the Dodgers have to hit home runs to win, how slug is critically important. And you gave a stat last Friday or Thursday. I sort of sat up straighter in my chair. You do that to me a lot. It was like so good. It was about the number of games the Dodgers, their record with and without hitting a home run. This year, the Brewers have hit the fewest number of home runs in baseball. They've scored the 5th number of runs. Is there just an error? Is there a mistake in the calculation of how the Dodgers have gone about building their view of scoring runs in the regular season? Because obviously you can produce ample runs. See the Brewers, Tampa Bay is a similar team, without having to rely on the long ball.
Yeah, I think when you're an offense like the Dodgers, they have heavy artillery, right? It's easier to lean into home runs when you have a lineup that has traditionally been able to put up those numbers. In Milwaukee, you don't have the kind of slug that the Dodgers do have. But it is one of those things where when you rely on the home run ball, when you rely on the slug, and then you're not doing the other little things right, everything starts to compound against itself. And I think for the Dodgers, they look at it this way. In the postseason, when you out-homer your opponent, you win basically 4/5 of the time.
But doesn't that make things a little too variable for a team that's this well put together?
Look, I've said it myself. Like, I feel for a long time that you want to kind of have more clubs in your bag, right, and be able to go those different routes. And I think too, you have guys in this lineup that probably are chasing slug more than they should. I remember talking to Tommy Edman about this last year when everyone was calling him Tommy Tanks, and he started the year, had 8 home runs. That can develop bad habits because when you're chasing home runs your bat to ball isn't the same. Someone like a Mookie Betts should not be swinging for the fences. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. When you are chasing home runs, you are going to have inevitable droughts. The good thing about the Dodgers is when they're right, they don't expand the zone. And what you're seeing right now is too many pitches off the plate that the Dodgers are swinging at that are leading to these short innings. And Teoscar Hernandez yesterday was a prime example. So, yeah, look, if you want the dub, you've got to slug. But also, if you are out here...
Not for the Brewers.
But the difference between the Brewers is this. And look, they play a great brand of baseball that kind of fits their roster, right? But that's why the Brewers don't win the World Series. That's why they don't win the whole damn thing.
The reason that they don't win the World Series is because they have the 5th most runs in baseball this year?
The reason why they don't win the World Series is because when it comes down to winning time and brass tacks in the postseason, look at last year. The Dodgers won the World Series because of 3 home runs. Max Muncy, Miguel Rojas, and Will Smith.
I'm actually curious. I'm not arguing. I know often I do this. So you think that to win a World Series... offensively, you have to be able to. Is home runs for you is like the 3-point shot in the NBA now?
I hate to simplify it like that, but last year in the postseason, the team that out-homered their opponent won that game at a 78.6% clip. Last year.
But
over the last 6-7 years. I mean, you go a decade. Okay. I mean, you could keep going back.
It's interesting.
And I kind of hate that about the game, if you want my honest opinion.
Do you?
On that, I really do. I mean, I think that it makes the game to a point where, think about this, Bill. Chicks dig the long ball, right? But also teams dig...
Talk to me. Wait, hold on.
Okay. Chicks dig the long ball, but also...
God, I was a contact hitter.
Wow. But also, teams dig players that hit the long ball. So the more home runs you hit, the more money you get. So there's been this launch angle revolution in baseball where players are chasing slug more than ever.
You got to clock it.
Yeah, exactly.
D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. It is mailbag time next on D-Mac and Reiter. D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. It is mailbag time, and we love that you're all listening, and we want to give you lots of ways to contribute to the show. You can always call in at 855-97-LA-FAN. Every day at this time, if you go on the stream on YouTube at The Fan LA, we will cull the comments and we'll put them aside like we've done, and we'll go through them and sort of,
People love this.
Chop it up.
They love this.
Okay. First one is Gabriel Cohen, 6618. And Gabriel, thank you. Unnecessary but very cool and kind. Threw a little money our way in the old chat. It's very nice.
Nice. We'll give it to Skubal for his contract.
Do you think DePaula and Tibbs will be up soon?
It's tough to imagine just with the defense. It's hitting at the big league level is such a challenge. I think Tibbs almost has a bigger shot and better shot than Josue DePaula, but we'll see when they expand the rosters in September. I would love to see DePaula get an opportunity.
Who do you think has the higher upside over a next 3-year timeline?
DePaula, 100%.
I mean, but you're a believer. I thought you want him traded.
I would. Look, I will say it here. I mean, if this offseason, if Elly De La Cruz becomes available, and there were reports that the Boston Red Sox made an offer for Elly De La Cruz, he's a superstar shortstop. I think the Dodgers need to take a long look at their shortstop situation. Even though Mookie can play that position defensively, I'd send him to second base, see if he can rebound offensively, knowing that this was
Mookie can't play shortstop anymore.
You don't think so?
He can't hit, dude.
And that's part of my calculus here.
We're on the same page.
So I would trade Elly De La Cruz, that dude. I remember talking to him last year.
Mookie
and he said,
frets.
Mookie frets. Wow. You Mookie Betts, man, you've been rough on him.
Well, it's fair that you're right. He's played such extraordinary baseball this year offensively that I haven't given him the credit he deserves. I apologize.
Yeah, look,
what am I supposed to say?
It's been valid. It's been valid. But
and remember when he snapped at a bunch of reporters who, you wouldn't understand. No, man, I can read a box score. Your on-base percentage of 92 is bad.
Yeah, you don't mess with reporters.
Remember
man.
that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah,
You
he was
got
not
long
happy
memories.
about that. I will add one more thing to the Josue DePaula piece of it.
Yeah.
When we had Keith Law on the show, he's one of the world's foremost prospect experts. He told us, and no one was saying this at the time, that Josue DePaula is either a below-average bad left fielder or a below-average bad first baseman, and he should be a DH.
I sent you yeah.
So if he's a DH, there's a guy, what's his name? Shohei Ohtani?
Do you think Keith Law's wife's parents call him in Lala?
That's a good one.
All right. D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Easy 213 writes, don't ever sign closers anymore. We got Roki, Glass, and perhaps Show coming out of the bully come playoff time. And then, I don't know what this means, but in all caps says, Burst deleted this comment. He said he was sorry. Burst, what are you doing?
It was an accident. Yes. I was trying
you're trying to cut and paste it?
Yes. I
have to be careful. I've almost blocked people before. On accident.
Yeah, I blocked him for a few seconds, and I felt really bad about it.
Never block. I love me a block party, but never block.
Don't
yeah.
I'm not a big block. We used to have a block party when I lived in Manhattan Beach the first time, and they would throw these parties, and they would just like, oh my God, I have to be social. I wanted a neighbor walk in my closed door. I'm like, you can't come to my house, man. He's like, it's a block party. Like, leave, dude.
I like it on the 4th of July because
I don't want it on my block.
Yeah, you don't want your block.
I want it one block over.
Wow, so you're just like a block party intruder.
Crasher.
Yeah, you're
wedding, wedding crashers?
Yeah, block party crashers.
Many people don't know this, that Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn almost had a go film on Wedding Crashers 2, Block Crashers.
That's in development hell right now. I'd say bring it back. We'll star in it. We'll star in it. I love it. But
no more closers.
Yeah, no more. Look, Andrew Friedman is probably not going to invest in the closer spot for the next couple of seasons. I mean, you
don't
have
get Edwin G's. No,
I think
Diaz didn't
look,
work.
I still have confidence. I really do have confidence that Edwin Diaz is going to turn things around. And here, year two of Tanner Scott has been much better. But there's a reason why.
Last year was Tanner Knott.
It was Tanner Knott. It was Tanner Scott really struggled last season. Fans were booing him. He had really a nightmare year. Edwin Diaz dealing with the injury hasn't been good so far. So
he needs time to get right.
He really does. It's going to take some time, but they're going to commit to it. And hopefully, look, he finishes the season like they hope he does, and you're going to probably not going to have money set aside for mega closers. They're going to try to develop them from within.
BL Boy.
No, this
hit me.
No, I forgot.
Just sound effects?
Oh, BL Boy. Yeah.
That's the next segment.
Okay, yeah, that's
This
right.
is the
That's right.
mailbag.
That's right.
You know, you remind me of sometimes is the guy from Police Academy.
Sound effect dude.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
That was that guy's career.
It was.
That's what he did.
He was the man.
Do you think he was happy in life?
I
Like,
think
that's your
that's
skill?
a cool niche. I mean, that's like a.
What happens after those movies stop getting made, though?
I mean, why? That's true. Yeah, it didn't have. But they made like 50 of those police academies. There's a lot.
I wonder if they hold up. I haven't seen the Police Academy movies in a long time.
We're gonna have to find out.
Do we?
Yeah, well, I'll give it a rewatch.
Okay, B.L. Boyd. No show and his empty numbers need. Oh, sorry, B.L. Boyd. No show and his empty numbers need discussion. First inning solos, a few RBIs in innings 3 to 6. After that, nothing. He's one of the last hitters I want to see in a late inning high leverage situation. You and I literally just had this conversation on our way to get some water in the break. The guy hits in the wrong place. He hits in the wrong. I'm just going to say it. He hits in the wrong. The algorithm's stupid there, too. I'd rather have him be in the 3 spot, but okay, at least him in the 2 hole.
Yeah, I think that would be the compromise. I mean, that's something that I would be willing to entertain at this point, especially because the offense has been so bad of late. Shohei Ohtani does get leadoff home runs, and having your leadoff hitter get more at-bats, it does make sense. But for an offense that just has not been able to produce over the last month plus, it would be interesting to see what it would look like to have a different approach to the top of the lineup, just because Shohei's not stealing bases, right? That's not what he's trying to do this season.
He's not allowed to steal bases.
He's not. And when he does, it usually bad things happen, right? He gets injured. So I'd be here for it. I would shake up the lineup. I think ultimately you look at where he's at this season, you would take a 939 OPS, but his offensive numbers have been down this season. He has been good.
You know what I'd take, too? I would take some runners on freaking base when he hits his home run. How many games has he led off with a home run this year?
Man,
15?
It's been a lot. Give me some ducks on the pond.
I've covered baseball, but not as much as you. I have a question, and maybe Dave Roberts can explain this to me. If you hit a home run with nobody on, do you get more than one run?
I don't think that's how it works.
No?
I don't think that's how that
Maybe you
works.
put him in the 2 or 3 spot then.
Yeah, look, but here's the thing. I mean,
their process doesn't work. They're not scoring runs.
In a perfect world, I think this year with Mookie it was different because I think he thought that he was maybe still the MVP version of Mookie Betts at the plate.
You think Dave did?
So he tried, okay, I'm going to spend 3-4 months being the version of myself that I've been for most of my career. But if Mookie started an entire season with a line drive approach, maybe he could be a better leadoff hitter. But
that's a good call.
The problem is, though, he's really not a great runner anymore either.
On Friday, you went viral for talking about Tarik Skubal still talking about his ex, the Tigers. And you went deep on the metaphor, and I loved it. So did Tom Stevens. Tom Stevens, 92. D-Mac was right. Just watch what Skubal said. Finally a show that doesn't agree with everything LA teams say or do.
That sounds like almost like a Bill Reiter line.
Hell yeah. Does it?
Taking a shot at someone somewhere.
Here's the thing. Everyone's so sensitive and soft, man. Like, yeah, when your OPS is 11, Mookie Betts, we're going to talk about it. When Tarik Skubal is a Dodger and goes, I really want to go back and try, I'm sad, we're going to bring it up.
Yeah, that's
when
why this
Bursch takes 83 vacation days.
That was 84.
Now and just, oh, that's right. I forgot that Wednesday.
Yeah, you're right, though.
Bursch doesn't love that. Bursch likes it more when I make jokes about you.
I know, right? Let me be the punching bag.
It's different when you're on the receiving end.
It's a little different, right?
Hi, Bursch.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, look.
Burschcation.
Bro, my goodness, a Burschcation. I love that one.
By the way, Bursch leaves on Friday. I won't see him for a month.
And you're not going to see me
real.
for a while, too.
I'm going to miss you, though.
You're going to not see him for a month?
It's like a month, dude.
Wow, you can always FaceTime.
I'm going to.
You're going to?
I hope so.
That's going to be a good, that could be its own little segment.
We were planning it, but I feel like I see him canceling the calendar invites as I make the jokes. Yes, we are not going to shy away from Tom Stevens, 92. Thank you, my partner, D-Mac. You kept it 100. You give it a buck.
I keep it a buck, baby. Look, I understand why some people won't feel the way I feel about that, and they're kind of just throwing away as nothing and him being a good teammate. I totally understand it. I think that for me, though, we got to tell people how we feel, right? And I think this show is probably going to be a shock to the system for this market for a while just because it's a little different. I mean, you see Bill going crazy, going off and calling people mercenaries that kind of shook up the system and things like that.
It was great. It was fun.
Yeah.
You were like making a Cody joke. I love Cody Decker.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But you were kind of...
No, you asked me which one would you... You asked me...
You said with me. We're cool.
I know you are. But you think if I touched him, he'd be more pissed?
No, you said that he would only be mad if I did it.
I know.
Why are you bringing up old stuff?
So I'm the archaeologist now because I'm digging up the past.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking about which person that we're colleagues with would not like a butt slap.
Yeah. What an insane thing to ask, by the way.
Did I ask it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You do.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That could have been you.
Which one?
Did Bursch take over the mic?
Yeah.
Was it the Sultan of Saints?
Oh.
Did he bring it?
That was, man.
Am I unhinged?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's probably the only thing that's not debatable for this show.
How long did it take you to know?
First time I met you, man.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, because of the Dodgers people behind us. Semison, 1, writes, can LA show Skubal enough love tonight to make him forget about Detroit? Mantra for the rest of the season should be Dodger fans bringing it loud and proud. Actually, I kind of like that. Let's woo him.
Yeah.
It's woo time.
Let's woo him for sure.
We're going to woo Skubal.
Yeah. We're going to have the Skubal skid.
That came out wrong.
We're going to have the Skubal skid. Yeah. Look, I mean, here's the thing, though. And that's what I pointed out, and I've been pointing that out last couple of shows, that the fact that those questions even need to be asked now, I think, are the root of the problem. The fact that that is something that's in the back of people's minds is that, oh, does he truly 100% want to be here? How committed is he to this postseason run? I don't even think that those are valid questions, but...
You don't think they're valid?
Well, no.
I think they're valid.
Okay,
so... That was your question.
I know. No, not to this...
Don't invalidate your own question.
Not to this postseason run. I'm just saying the fact that we're wondering about how much is he willing to give, knowing that he's going to be set up for a monster contract. But look, I want to see Dodger Stadium electric tonight.
Okay.
Tarik Skubal will throw a perfect game, and we'll celebrate it tomorrow.
Hey, man, that guy's on time every time. Daniel, 2 quick ones. Daniel Oriola, Mookie is batting just over the Bob Uecker line is very funny. And Easy 213. Also, Bill being a germaphobe is so apt and explains so much. I'm not a germaphobe about most things, just a few things.
Just a bit outside.
And Bursch has some surprise that I don't know what this is. What's going on, Ryan?
So there was an article that came out today with Barrett Sports Media. It was about
covers the industry.
Yes, about a specific show, actually on 97.1 The Fan. In fact, it's about this show. Let's see. Here is a wonderful excerpt from this.
From me, right?
Yes.
This is me talking.
This is you.
Love you, Doug McCain, but I'm not sure I would have picked Doug as my partner, which is why I'm probably not a programmer. I've worked with co-hosts who didn't like me or I didn't like them. It's a forced marriage, said Bill Reiter. Doug is amazing to work with. He's the most plugged-in Dodgers guy I know. Having the right co-host personally, professionally, and chemistry-wise has made this the easiest transition professionally I've ever had.
I love you, man.
Wait a minute, though. I don't know. That wasn't like 100%. Wait, that almost sounded like Tarik Skubal talking about the Tigers. Like it was a forced marriage?
Yeah.
A forced marriage?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
A forced marriage.
That's true.
I didn't know you.
That's a good point. And also, was it your first choice?
I didn't have a choice. I just, had I been asked, I would have chosen an athlete because I've always just been paired with an athlete.
Yeah. What? I can play some tennis. Yeah. I can play dodgeball.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate the love. I really do. This guy, he's the best. He really is. Bill Reiter is the best, man. He's honestly, he's the go-to Valley Sports Talk right now. Anytime. He really is. Yeah.
On the basketball court.
And here's the thing, though. I said the same things. I was like, hey, I want to work with an athlete, blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
Who's this guy?
But here's the thing. I mean, I look at all of the things you say on the show and keeping it honest, keeping it 100, keeping it real. And it's been just the time of my life, really, a couple of months here. So, man, out there wearing your blue suit, Barrett Media, talking about the show, D-Mac and Reiter.
What is this, Dirty Dancing?
I've had the time of my life.
Why was the AI voice a woman voice for me?
I liked it. Run it back. Very,
you want to hear it again?
Well,
we'll do it in a second.
Okay.
Because, Check's watch. We're going a little long. We will give you the hero of the day. And if you all want it, or if Doug wants it, my comments about him and the Barrett Media article. D-Mac and Reiter, hero of the day, next on D-Mac and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show, D-Mac and Reiter. Man, this show has flown by, dude.
Has been. Monday.
Very fast, D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. Or text injury help to 40222. Would you like to guess the hero of the day?
Who are the 4 nominees?
The nominees were Eduardo Rodriguez, Seth Halverson, Kyle Tucker, and Kirk Cousins.
I like the list. I think that Tucker probably wins.
He won going away, 63% of the vote. The secondary winner, yes, congratulations, Kyle. By the way, Kyle Tucker, been awesome the last 6 or 7 games. He is the hero of the day. Dave Roberts is not for benching him. I'm a dog with a bone on this stuff.
I mean, think about this. Imagine they go through the order 1 or 2 times and have 0 runs. You're like, wait a second. If only we had a hot hitter right now. Oh, who's that guy in the dugout?
A guy. What was the lefty split stat you gave me?
So, yeah, against lefty, he's just better against lefties than righties. Typically, if you're a left-handed hitter, you're better against righties than lefties. But he has been throughout his career pretty platoon neutral, where he's been good against righties and lefties. This year, he's just been better against lefties than righties. So you should have him in the game, especially if he's a lefty starter and you're a hot hitter.
Second place, which I find to be heroic by you, the audience, who voted for this this poll, as you always do, at the Fan LA on YouTube, at the Fan LA. I think it's heroic that Rodriguez finished second, because it actually says Eduardo Rodriguez, and then there's a parenthetical that explains it, and it simply says define DMAC. And that got a lot of votes.
Wow. Hey, look, I mean,
very good.
And the funny thing about Eduardo Rodriguez is a lot of Dodgers fans hate him because he was originally traded to LA back in 2023, but he had a no trade clause and did not accept the trade. So he was like, "Hey, man, I don't want to go to LA." Right? It was the ultimate. He ends up just staying in Detroit, and then he ends up in Arizona. But, yeah, look, hey, I'm all for pitchers that only exclusively pitch. Get a couple pitches, get a couple innings out of him. You guys are taking it the wrong way. When I say that, it's about my guy, our guy, the unicorn, Shohei Ohtani, just not getting overworked.
You know what I just did? I just tweeted without permission from the 97.1 The Fan account on accident.
Nice.
I'm deleting it. It wasn't Sam here, Birch's fault. I did it, Lindsay and Andrew. I'm sorry. I'm good at social media. Oh my God.
Go follow yourself.
Let me just
go like all your tweets.
97.1 The Fan account tweet out Doug McCain gets got again by Reiter.
Yeah. Took over the account, baby.
That is really dumb by me. How important is this Skubal outing for Skubal? I don't make too much of it. It's really not, right? Like, the real thing is for him to be comfortable and to just be on form when we got. And he pitched well in his first outing in Chicago. It's not like he's pitched poorly.
Yeah, and he was the opening day pitcher when the Tigers took on the Dodgers 2 years ago, and he gave a home run to Teoscar Hernandez. So, yeah, he has to get familiar with Dodger Stadium. I think as far as how important it is, big picture, not too important, but I think for himself, for his ability just to show Dodgers fans what he is, and that is arguably, if not the best pitcher in all of Major League Baseball, I think tonight's a big night for him. I think it really is. I think that, like you said, I mean, I think that you were a little bit, I don't want to say too hard on him for his first start, but you called it fine. And I think that
it was fine.
It was a little better than fine.
Was it?
I mean, just a little bit, not a lot of better than fine.
Okay, word police. What the guy that went after virally Tarik Skubal's love affair with Detroit that continues? What is the terminology that you would have preferred that I used, so I can do it right next time?
No,
can I take back the nice things I said to Jason Barrett Media?
Where you told me this was an arranged marriage, and that wasn't your first choice.
It was an arranged marriage.
You were my first choice.
You didn't even know how to say my last name.
No, that's checkmate.
I mean, I'm not mad at
you. You know why? Because
yes, Birch.
Oh, yeah, this is something special working with the great Bill Reiter.
Oh my God.
Working with the great Bill Reiter.
I'm Bill. It is a pleasure to meet you, Doug.
I will say that we did that one show where we were kind of going at it. I was like, wow, that was kind of fun. I was like, I don't know if I would do that with an athlete necessarily on certain things, for sure. You just like to debate everything. You've always been that way?
Yeah, I'm
it feels like you're just kind of born that way, right?
I am not afraid to be a little argumentative.
What are you tweeting? Oh, you do? Okay, so that's from your account. Yeah, that's from your account.
This one.
Okay.
Right. The
I see it.
Tarik Skubal can't let Detroit go saga took another turn with DMAC LA _LA on the fan LA today.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Look.
It's out there.
So if he pitches well tonight, do we take any credit for it?
We give him a Cy Young award.
We give him a Cy Young, a third?
No, we take a lot of Here's the thing. I don't care his mercenary versus non-mercenary status if he pitches well. But I think that if he pitches well, that's the story. If he pitches badly, that's the story. If he does either of those things, if he pitches a no-hitter and he comes out tonight and says it was so great, but I missed Detroit, we're gonna bring it up.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I want him to do
separate tracks.
I want him. He don't even listen to Eminem anymore. Just listen to Kendrick Lamar. Like I want no ties to Detroit. Like I want just him to fully embrace.
That was great.
I'm just serious. Like,
did you just make that up?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
but it's all good. Look,
did you write that down at home over the weekend?
No, and I hate when you do that.
You do?
Yes.
Oh.
So I don't be right. Well, I use hate a lot on this show, by the way.
It's really. I mean, Eminem writes all his stuff down.
Yeah. No. No, yeah, when he's going really crazy rhyme structures. But point I'm trying to make is I want to see Tarik Skubal have a dominant start tonight.
But also, what was the no Eminem?
No Eminem because he's Detroit.
You want Kendrick Lamar?
I want him just to listen to Kendrick Lamar.
You just thought of that.
I did.
It's really good.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. I'll take that
Just
one.
give me the dirty look again. He's giving me the you're in trouble look.
I love it. I always wonder what. Yeah. So I think
it's from the vacation joke though.
What if? Yeah, he's still
worried about you. He's not worried about you.
Hey, he's his vacation vibes. I'm sure he wears a lot of the open shirts or the button downs.
If Tarik Skubal pitches so well and is one of the catalysts for the Dodgers to win a World Series this year, and then at the end of the year says, I was a professional, I did my thing, but I hate this city and I never want to play here again, I wouldn't even be that mad. I'll just know where he's coming from.
Absolutely. 100%. I think that's the number one thing.
If he pitches badly, though, it'll be a different story.
If he does pitch poorly and it feels like there's innings in moments where he could have given more, then I think you'll start to have the conversation. The good news is the Dodgers have a pitcher that's so highly incentivized to pitch well just because of how good he is and the standard he has for himself. But that's why all he has to do is go out there, give this team a dominant finish to the season, have a dominant postseason, and the money is going to be there. And it could be with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And nights like tonight, though, are those nights that you remember, right? The Dodgers fans have this opportunity to make their first impression on Tarik Skubal.
No, you've made the first impression on Tarik Skubal. And that's okay.
Man.
It's real. I'm the new 97 on the Fan, the voice of LA sports. Mario in the chat at the Fan LA has a new nickname for me. The Rottweiler.
I like it.
Rottweiler, I think is what, yeah.
Oh man, someone had a good one. Oh,
Are you gonna do this thing where you bring up like my guys in the chat? This is what happened a lot in the beginning of our sort of working partnership. My guys in the chat, they like you a lot. They think you're wrong though.
No. I said someone in the chat said that we should call our fans D-writers.
I am not a big fan of.
Look, I know.
I don't like naming fans.
But no, D because that's my name. D.
Talk about
and then
that.
Reiter. D-writers.
No, I got it.
They ride or die for the D-Mac and
But I also
Riders.
absolutely hate it. Persh is like, I only have 2 days left and I'm off for the next 3 months. then I'm
That's
cool.
a good name. I like the name. Roll with it.
What you want? All right.
The D-Riders.
Can we revisit tomorrow?
Yeah.
I only have 12 seconds. And I'm excited to kind of get onto that and do the James Coe show. You know what I'm saying? All right. He's Doug McCain. Thank you to Sammy. Thank you to Berge. I'm Bill Reiter. We appreciate you. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. D-Riders. I'm T-Mac Reiter.